Live streaming should be kicking in. We are live.
But wait,
it has to say first.
I got cut off, but what I was going to say is I think the only problem is he didn't actually show off one of the most important cards in the engine for New Ghost Trick. I think that might have rubbed some actual players the wrong way.
Didn't he play Festival? Like,
no, he didn't play. He didn't play Shot. He didn't play Shot.
He brought up the video.
He explains that Shot is bad.
I mean,
so the stream starts off on Vesper going, didn't he play Festival?
He's 100%.
No, well,
wrong,
there's a few out there. We started a while. There was some silence. Anyway, so I realized it was 8:30 and I needed to get us. I realized it was 8.
Was bad.
Dallas, I'm trying to explain to the stream where I told you we were live. I can't unlive the live, Dallas. So, to the audience of the 5 people who were waiting for us to start, hi, welcome to Fail Portrayal. I'm showing you the thumbnail image now. I realized it was 8:30 suddenly because while I was assembling the very long list of Dragunity cards, we got sidetracked by MBT's recent video, his response to the Ghost Trick community about his Ghost Trick video, and we were in the weeds. So I wanted to clarify that very quickly before we continued, because like I said, I was like, oh shit, it's 8:30, we gotta get started.
Oh, I can't believe Omega said a bad word. We gotta cancel stream now.
That's
well,
okay.
I was just gonna say, if he thinks Ghost Trick Shot is bad, he's just bad at Yu-Gi-Oh.
He didn't though. He said he used it all for all the combos.
But it wasn't in the deck
But
list.
it wasn't
How could
in
he?
the deck.
Weird, because the novel's
That-
replay
that's-
said he used it.
What?
Then he's lying.
Maybe he's using different versions of two
Or dumb.
videos.
Or something. I don't know.
I mean, obviously, he tests the deck before he records it, and he found that Shot just doesn't work with the build he's doing, where he's not trying to do set Ghost Trick monsters. That doesn't do anything in the build he's trying to do.
No,
where you're doing combos.
I should clarify. The on-field effect of Shot is bad. That is correct. It's the in-graveyard effect of Shot that's important.
But yeah, so honestly,
Right.
I think mostly it's just that MBT's testing videos, like this is no longer, what was his super dumb boss series, Turbo Tuesday?
Yeah. Oh well, he still does Turbo Tuesday. It's more just that Turbo Tuesday happens once in a blue moon because he needs some super jank thing that has
but
no reason.
he powered through a lot of those ideas very rapidly, and now he just doesn't do them. But like those were very jank enthusiast.
But yeah, no, the people who are telling him to play Skeleton are in fact dumb.
Well, I think it's a difference between like hard leg will do what a deck, and then he'll realize, oh, this deck is stupid. Dumb decks, right?
Well, and the other thing too is like there was one comment in the video that was 100% factually correct, but also the end was like, but also you're bad, so I don't like this deck, even though I've explained perfectly why you're playing it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a base take. I have to say.
Like I said, I don't care too much because I'm not
was-
part of the Dragunity. Not the Dragunity. That's what the episode we're doing. I am part of the Dragunity community.
There's.
Well, guess what? Loth, who is passive aggressively in the live chat, also on the stream. Hi.
Hi. Speak.
I was still not done with the list because I'm cross-referencing spell traps, and we got into the weeds. And I was like, "Oh heavens, look at the time!"
Well, also, I mean, like we stream for like 2 to 3 to 5 hours. We have tangents at every point.
We'll hit midnight. Usually we hit midnight.
People
by
will
then.
filter in. We're starting a little bit
Yeah.
early because some of these yahoos weren't bogged down in Common Writer. Shoot, what was the
The
other
art's not here.
To clarify for our clarify for the person in chat that just brought this up. Yeah, the reason the Dragunity structure deck is expensive is because Dragunity is just one of the many like 15 different engines crammed in Modern Dragon Link.
I mean, some of those cards are not in the structure deck because I will say we're doing Dragunity. We honestly probably should have done Dragunity earlier, but we were talking about this in the pre-stream. In terms of dual terminal lore, Dragunity is such
important.
a weird. I mean, they are important. They're punching out Trishula and shit, right?
Well, I mean, Omega,
Yeah,
like,
just
you
every
can just show the image I sent a little bit higher in the prog chat. It is a single sentence, and that is their only place in the dual terminal lore, where when the Miss Valley are getting beat up, they show up and essentially just say, we're going to beat you to death and then go away for the rest of Dual Terminal.
They live in the ravine and that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
But
so
also,
and
don't
that,
they
that was the
fail,
card I'm trying to look.
technically?
No, Trishula's dead. All the
they
Ice Barrier
actually-
dragons are
okay.
fucking dead.
Well,
That's how they can
kind
get
of.
evil swarm. No, they're corpses.
Yeah, I was like-
the evil swarm
yeah,
virus
they
only
get
work. It's like
reanimated.
It's
it's
the
like
virus.
some versions of the viruses in Resident Evil. It only works on dead dudes. It's like also like Necromorphs in,
T-virus.
in Dead Space. Herp derp. Sorry, my brain is running on like 4 different channels at once. Ravine. Ravine is the card I need to make sure is on the list.
Oh god.
Yeah, so if you wanted to hear us break down Dual Terminal lore again, we actually can't because there only exists, like, they have lore in a few different card arts, but the actual, like, written down lore is just them showing up.
Yeah, so we know they exist, and from some later like arts, we know that, like I said, they are part of the team that actually beats up Trishula. They do their beat up, and then they go away, and I guess they die because some of them become Necros later, and also Exa of the Necros finds their spear in like a generation or some shit. We'll talk about Dragunity Divine Lance later.
Yeah,
Probably just
But,
kind of
like,
fade away from time.
deals with Zane's helping out.
But
with
like
that
they don't,
demonstration.
they just kind of exist. And unlike dual terminal archetypes, there are 2 things we need to say about Dragunity before we start getting into their card design. One, as an engine, Dragunities are actually pretty good. If you've watched Prague, Dragunities have won some tournaments and some games because they are a very efficient engine for making certain dragon-type synchros. They are really good at synchro climbing into Stardoot, exactly. And Stardust Pass is a very strong turn 1 in the 5Ds era.
Well, and not to mention that their field spell is a staple in basically every dragon deck that doesn't even run Dragunities as well, because it just has generic Foolish Burial a turn
Yeah.
effect.
It's good.
Yeah,
I think there's like one. I think there's literally one a dragon deck in history that does not use Dragon Ravine that was meta relevant.
yeah, because like the moment Dragon Reave was printed, every dragon deck looked at this and said, "Oh, we play this at 7."
Yeah, no, it's
literally, yeah. The only dragon deck that doesn't use it is
and yes, when we talk about
Draco
it,
Slayer,
which
the pendulum.
we could. Do we want to start with Ravine just to let people know?
I guess
what's
we can
up?
start with Ravine. We can start with Ravine as the primary because there's
Yeah.
not much to talk about for it, but it does have a pretty sick aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
it sets the tone for this archetype.
and in case you guys didn't know, yes, Dragon Ravine is a Dragunity card. It has 2 effects
Use the
actually.
name on it once.
Yes, this is one of the cards of the class of. This card has 2 effects, but you only know one of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have only ever heard of actually, is it technically the first or second effect?
Like, do you know that Zeus
Sorry,
has 2
people.
effects?
Sorry,
fucking didn't
Loth
until
is
this
being an
morning.
animal man where I'm gonna dog you out on stream, Loth. You're fucking yelling at us for talking about MBT, but you're jamming up my ats in my own Discord with posting furry porn and shit. So I shame you on stream. I shame you. I'm gonna mute the server now for 3 hours. No, for 8 hours. 8 hours of muting the
You only
server.
do 1 or 8 hours, I think.
No, they added 3, thank God, but 3's not gonna
Okay.
be enough.
8 hours of unsolicited.
Honestly, just do it until you turn it back on. Just turn it back on later.
But
I
then
impact sexual violence.
Anyway, Dragon Ravine. It's a ravine with dragons in it. They have spears on their faces.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I mean, like, not much to talk about here, except for like, I like this, like I said a second ago. This is a really cool aesthetic, and like just like that hot blazing sun in the background.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
basic but nice.
And unfortunately, the first printing of this, because it was dual terminal. Oh, no. Technically, the first printing was the common in the structure deck. So that's probably a very nice print. The one, for some reason, the wiki in their eternally smooth brand decided to upload the legendary Kaiba Mega Pack Collection 1, which is a secret rare, and thus you can't see shit. It looks like the Dragon Ravine is actually the Mist Valley because of all the
I'll
secret
say
rare
this.
fog.
This is one of the few cards. Man, I wish this was a gold rare at some point.
Ooh, maximum
yes,
gold
This would look
party.
good as a gold rare.
I don't know what you do after El Dorado, but please, when we make the new maximum gold, this in it. Also, reprint the Dragunity cards you only printed in Ghosts from the Past, you
Like-
fuckers.
like this and Ayers Rock Sunrise are two cards I'm like, I want that in gold rare.
I would like, by the way, in case you
guys
guys don't know, I will be salty about that when we get to later Dragunities, because, like I said, Dragunity is a series that has been getting ongoing legacy support in batches. Part of this was because they were a structure deck, and they got a, the OCG did an updated, like, 10-year anniversary release for that structure deck. The TCG, in their eternal wisdom, put those cards in Ghost from the Past, that set that you couldn't fucking buy for MSRP, because... Konami was like, yo, we're bringing back Ghost Rares, and every asshole investor with any number of neurons, which is to say no neurons, because they all have zero brain activity, vastly overbought that set for no goddamn reason. So I'm slightly mad about that. I can't be fully mad because I was able to get my cheap-ass reprints of Red Eye's Meteor Black Comet Dragon because that was its first reprinting in like 5 years, and even though it was an all-ultra set, they were like... $5 each, I think. I bought the whole package for like $12, $15 a playset. But yeah, it was impossible to actually buy Ghosts from the Past packs because reasons.
Yeah, they both vastly overbought it and refused to sell their stock until they feel it's worth more than enough to sell.
So Dragon Ravine has two effects. It's a field spell. Once per turn, you can discard one card and then activate one of these effects. So the one you know is the second one. It's the second bullet point. Send one dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard. The first effect is add one level 4 or lower Dragunity monster from your deck to your hand. So this is an archetype searcher or a Foolish Burial for dragons. Yes. That is why you constantly see this fucker.
Yeah. Unless you are playing exactly a Dragon a Pendulum deck, you want to play this.
Yeah.
But, oh, sorry, Olaf.
No, I was gonna say, like, yeah, that's the effect you want to use it for, but also, just this entire time I've been staring at this one dragon in front of the sun, and just noticing just the big-ass horn coming off of his head.
Yeah, they all got that. Don't worry, we're gonna start...
I've said this before.
They have lances for heads.
The Dragunity look freaking stupid.
From, like, this angle, they all look like they're wearing paragliders, and they're just dinosaurs going,
Alright, well, speaking of looking stupid, we're gonna fire right in.
Hey.
This is from our initial batch of Dragunities, of which there are a lot of batches, guys. This took a while to assemble this list.
Yeah,
that's why we were really late to stream.
The weirdest of Dragunity is that even though they're a dual Tauren archetype, they are probably the most supported dual Tauren archetype in the sense of just batches.
So this is Dragunity Darkspear. Red Eye's Black Dragon got his head stuck in something.
I would say it's a dark spear that has a dragon body. That's just kind of it.
I like marshmallows.
It's like
I'm sorry, this art looks...
I mean, everything but the head, good, right? Like,
everything but the head is fine.
I mean, it looks like a dragon.
It just looks like a dragon. Sort of other card games, the artwork that it just stole and said.
This is the dragon that had to go in the short yellow bus to school.
Oh,
no! I mean, no.
I can say, as one of the people that went in the short yellow bus, yes, I can say that.
Okay.
I mean, kind of, yeah,
Dallas
but like,
Rose's opinions aren't his own. They are not reflective of Studio Vega as a company or a content brand.
That was a psychology major. You think you have like some of our people just have dumb hats instead of actual brain injuries?
Got his head stuck in a pen. Like... Yeah, it does look a little bit like a fountain pen nib.
It's not actually. I don't think it's dumb. I think it just has something that's like been welded to its flesh.
Do you look? Have any of you've seen My Hero Academia, right?
Yes.
Why does this thing look like a Nomu?
Oh god, it does.
It's definitely
I definitely think part of it is the weird gem stuck in his forehead because it looks like it's in his skull, not in the spear.
Yeah.
It is.
No.
Because part of the spear is its head.
No. Well, possibly with the red line being the same as its like wing tissue, but like that's it. That's the only thing that could be its flesh. Everything else is just dark steel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you think its scales are metal?
Well, no, but it's okay. Axe, you're making me bust out the football lines already. So there's a drop shadow here. So the actual contours of the spear are down here.
No, I'm just saying, like, the textures of the edges of the metal look like the same.
I understand. It could be a aspect of like this monster has different materials for both, because some animals do have that where they're like this part of their body is made of like stretchy skin, and this part of their body is made of like hard chitinous.
I assume the spears are supposed to be like a training aid, because there is one thing we can say about the lore that we do understand about Dragunity Knights and the Dragunity Legion. So the actual the sentient people of the Dragunity tribe are relatives of the Mist Valley, an episode we have done. They are bird people, some of whom are ladies, who raise these baby dragons, these guys, the tuners, to ride them into battle as Dragunity Knights. And then when they get big, they become the synchro monsters. So there's basically three naming themes. The tuners are named after weapons, usually polearms. This was Dragunity. This is Dragunity Dark Spear, in case that wasn't clear before. Or
like
Black Spear in Japanese.
we've got like spear, we've got house, dukes. You'll notice a lot of these are Latin.
The bird people have Latinate names.
It's also on the poster from 5Ds.
Yeah, their synchros are all named after historical weapons.
Yeah, mythological weapons.
Or mythological in most senses.
Well, some are historical, some are
and because most of us are here because this is the Studio Mega channel and you guys probably play FGO, yes, we will be making the jokes when we get to the Dragunity Knights, because some of them have names you're gonna recognize. Haha, funny meme.
Funny joke.
But so this is Dark Spear. He has a spear. He is dark.
He's a funny.
He looks very uncomfortable.
He looks so derpy.
He looks very uncomfortable.
He is not having a good time.
Not the dumbest looking Dragunity card, in my opinion.
But here you go. Here is your aesthetic for the tuners, and yes, this is a dragon type.
I
tuner.
will at least say the metal part at least looks like it was forged in an actual like way metal was actually shaped like that.
Yeah, it looks it.
Yeah.
If the elements were separate, they would look better. When he's literally wearing the spear on his face, you're just like, what have they done to you, boy?
It's like
Honestly,
what have they done to you, and why have they done this to you?
The way
Also,
they could have
I
made
think-
this better is if they, split that spearhead in two and put the on his arms instead of his head.
And I do think some of them have an aesthetic more like that. Axe, you were
I
saying
will
really
say the
quick.
back end of the metal looks like it's part of a saddle, but
Yeah, I guess
Also,
it's probably you grip that area or write it.
I'll say that. Also, unfortunately, this card is bad.
Yeah, this is from their first wave. This is not the really good tuners. Fuck. I mean, some of the really good tuners don't even come out until 2018. But
to be fair, even in the first wave, I think this card was considered bad because I don't want to give away who it was. But this is literally just one of their other tuners at home. Is the best way to put it.
So this is a level 3 Wind Dragon tuner, 1k 1k. Once per turn, you can tribute one Dragon-type Dragunity monster, select one level 4 or lower Winged Beast-type monster in your graveyard, and special summon it. So the early Dragunity synchros are one of those kinds of synchros. They usually require a Dragon or Dragunity tuner and a Winged Beast monster. They do not necessarily have to be Dragunity monsters. Later synchros improve that, whether they are just you need a Dragunity monster and a tuner or Dragon tuner.
Well, and as someone who has no real perspective on Dragunity aside from like a handful of very like modern cards, this doesn't seem bad. This more seems suboptimal for what this deck is trying to do.
So what this guy is basically doing is he lets you, when you have two tuners, because all the tuners are the little dragons. If you have two tuners, you can sack a tuner to get back a Winged Beast, so you can actually synchro. The problem is that the Dragunity's engine, you'll see this when we get to later tuners and special guys, they have much better engines for getting your tuners and non-tuners on the field at the same time than Darkspear, who is just a little bit slow and he's a little bit squishy. It's hard to actually, like, put him in a position where he can do the thing. And you also would have another Dragunity Dragon monster you can sack to do this, right? So
Yeah. You need to make sure you have two monsters on field that haven't been destroyed.
now, obviously, he can tribute himself to recur a Winged Beast, but it's a little slow.
Yeah. The unfortunate part of it is just, like, even when poor old Darkspear was released, there were better options.
So let's talk about it's alphabetically right next, but we're going to talk about one of the engine cards that makes Dragunity go. It's one of their Winged Beasts. It's one of their first ones that were released.
Yeah.
It's you know, a half of the key early combo.
To
which
the
is-
point of, I believe it's still in modern Dragunity decks.
Yes, because he's pretty good. So this is Dragunity Dukes.
Chicken Man.
Dragunity Dux, which is Duke in Latin. He is a attorney at law, clearly.
He's wearing like a hawk helmet actually. I noticed because his
He
eyes.
has a mop.
That's why I said he's an attorney at law.
Yeah, weed beast, but
I mean, I'm
He's a
pretty sure
really
that's
weird
supposed to be
beast.
like a lash or a dragon cat toy, but yes, because it's white, it looks,
It looks like a mop.
Yo, white.
Also, I'm gonna just say, this guy is a larpy motherfucker. This is like the most cosplay-looking armor I've seen.
Yeah.
In Yu-Gi-Oh!
I've noticed that.
This guy definitely looks like he's just trying to fit in.
I've noticed that. I
I'm
think
cool,
there's
guys, I
actually.
swear.
I'm not
Guys.
some spy.
Axe, just keep talking. They're not saying
Okay.
anything important.
What have they? But okay. But I've noticed like he's wearing basically a glider pack, which is I guess to like Loft's joke earlier, but actually other people because I think those wings. Are
Yeah,
just
no,
entirely
yeah,
fake and metal.
they're straight up just so his wings are straight up bolted to his belted to his shoulder pads. Like his shoulder pads are belted on.
Yeah.
He is wearing what looks like some kind of like chainmail or padded garment, which goes into a hood, and then he's just got his wings strapped to his shoulders. Yeah.
He's
So
like
yeah, you're right.
discount-
He looks very tryhard.
He's Discount Hawkman, who's already Discount Hawk Girl.
Hawkman was first, I think.
So I will say this kind of like I think the aesthetics of this are pretty good in the sense that he's got the like vague Greco-Roman like, you know, he's got a skirt and he's got the tunic design, he's got some sleeves and some gold bling. He's not like hardcore Roman, but he's in that ballpark.
In
The
terms of
thing
general
that's-
aesthetic, you can look at this guy, and like 6 out of like 10 people would say that guy's probably Roman or some shit.
Yeah.
The thing about this that really creeps me out is the bird head, what looks like a beak thing, and then just the teeth. Just a
Well, not just that. It's the very human eyes under that. It was what
it's
looks
human
very
eyes.
human
It looks
Yeah,
like teeth.
Here, let me punch you.
Under that.
Let me punch you.
Also, I need to correct Axe because he tried to correct me under his breath, and I'm not having that.
What?
Hawkgirl did not
Yeah,
come out. Hawkgirl did not come out after Hawkman. They debuted in the same comic
Right.
in the Flash.
I forgot about that because
Shut
I'm
the
used
fuck
to-
up.
All right. I'm more just
I-
remember like the
so-
resurgence is.
Yeah, I honestly thought those eyes were teeth. I'm an idiot.
No, he's,
Well, no, because
he is,
like
he is a
I
man
can see
wearing
your
a hat.
thought because like it looks like a head, but like when you like look at it in close up, it is like a cowl that goes over his head.
Is it wrong
to give
that
him
the
a winged
art?
beast.
Is it wrong that I like the art more when I thought it was a bird person? Because now I'm just like, why is he a winged beast?
I mean, some of them, if they're all the same tribe, some of them are way more birdy than others. I get your joke of him looking like he's trying to blend in, but yeah, like there's an aesthetic going on. So
Guys, I'm a
Um,
winged beast too.
Duke's here.
I'm gonna make this up. I'm gonna make it because they don't have any lore. I'm gonna make up canonical lore. The bird that Dukes represents is a penguin, so he had to make his own wings to be able to.
Yeah, to add a flight pack.
actually, wait. What if it's actually just wing armor? So it's just blades covering the wings.
That's probably what it actually is, but it
Probably what it is,
Well,
but it's
yeah, that could be
funnier.
that. Something is definitely strapped to him though, but yeah, I try for a joke
You
I
can
posted
notice
on the
how
internet,
sharp
which I have
the-
not gotten enough motion on. Follow me on Twitter for late night Yu-Gi-Oh memes.
Like look at like the shine. Like look at like the
I
edge
did.
shine.
I
there.
did make a beautiful meme in media that I feel like only some. I don't even know if these guys realized happened. Where I was like, my back row,
I'm
5
not
mirror
on Twitter.
forces.
Yeah, no, I think I'm pretty sure. Like,
Oh no, I did
I
see
saw
that.
it when I
but
couldn't
think
get
you
out of
posted it. I think you posted it to Discord.
Yeah, I also tweeted it, but I posted it to Discord. You guys saw it at least.
No, I saw the Discord one.
One of my most tryhard memes ever. You do not know how much work it took me to rotate 5 copies of the mirrorforce.png.
No, I believe you.
But we won't go into that. Let's talk about the effect of this guy. So this is a level 4 winged beast with 1500 attack, 1k defense. He's a little small, but it doesn't matter because you're immediately going to use him to synchro. He gains 200 attack for every Dragunity card you control. This includes spells. There are actually, I think, there's at least one Dragunity continuous spell released later. and a couple of equip spells.
I don't think any of them are good, but
No, but they exist.
Oh no, wait, no. One of the equip spells is good.
It also does work because of his effect. When this card is normal summon, target one level 3 or lower Dragon Dragunity monster in your graveyard. Equip that target to this card. So yes, this is Dragunity's thing. They are dragon riders, so the winged beasts equipeth the little guys to them.
Yeah, this was after the part where they realized that, maybe Union monsters were a bad idea.
Yeah, they just put the equipping effects on cards like for instance, it was years later than this, but Red Eyes actually has an equip sub-theme. They're not Union monsters. Black Metal Dragon is just like, hey, from the field of your hand, equip this to a guy.
Okay, Omega, I'm not trying to throw shade at you, but why does Red Eyes get all the shit archetype themings?
I don't know,
They
actually.
have Gemini
Like,
monsters, equip monsters, like...
I mean, Rana makes this point in his archetype archive on Red Eyes. Red Eyes does have potential. The problem is Konami never uses that potential. The only time they used that potential was when they realized how fucking stupid Red Eyes Fusion is if you make a monster like Dragoon. That's it.
I feel like Konami designs Red Eyes like they are channeling Joey Wheeler, and they're just like, this shit would be funny.
What do you mean? I thought they had a dartboard with ideas, and they just went,
Hey, you! What if my Gearfried was a Red Eyes?
No,
Joey, that's stupid.
because
Shut up.
here's the thing. The thing is, it always seems to be bad ideas. Like, not to be mean, but like they literally have Gemini equip monsters. They have 3 in archetype fusions, 2 of which are never used.
They also, honestly,
as...
no, they don't actually have that many in archetype fusions. Oh well, they do have 3, I guess. 3 is exactly it.
Yeah, no,
I would say,
but you're wrong
that...
though. Slash is actually used. And the other in archetype is Dragoon, so yeah, that's used.
I would say that Red Eyes more often than not ends up the guinea pig for them testing out random shit.
Oh no, sorry, Omega. I was referring to fusion cards because yes, as much as you want to go away from it, I am considering Claw of Hermos a Red Eyes card.
Well, then they only have 2, and Claw of Hermos is the good one because Red Eyes Fusion sucks if you're not making a Towers boss like.
Red Eyes, for example, they got the Geminis. They realized they were bad, so they discontinued that. And like every different archetype, every different release of Red Eyes.
Geminis also, by the way, like 5 years after that idea already flopped. Like it was like 2015.
So, it was them trying something new with the archetype. That was like because it was Red Eyes, no one cares about it. Is their thought process, I assume. They made Dragoon, realized it was really good, and then made DPE a few years later because they're like, maybe we should try that in a good archetype.
And even then, they're still, the OCG's still like, mistake, bad Infusion Destiny, it was a bad idea.
yeah.
So let us move on to Dragunity Legionnaire. Loth, if you didn't like Dukes,
Oh boy.
there's a
This
guy has a problem with his hat.
You can
This guy has
barely see the guy's eye.
This guy has never looked good.
I always,
no.
I will say the art copy, like the art quality is at least not shitty.
Yeah, no. The art, I think the art style is good. There's one glaring flaw with this guy.
Actually, there's actually a part of this art that is just a mistake.
Well, no. I think there's one glaring flaw, which is either this guy is missing an eye, so he needs an eye patch that's off center, or he spun around to punch you so fast his helmet has become askewed and it is covering one of his eyes.
That or it's just the angle is bad.
I love this pose of just these hands are ready to eat for everyone, fucker.
I would like to draw the. I would.
Trishula goes, oh, you're approaching me? Dragunity Legionnaire is like, I can't beat you up if I'm not close to you.
Now let's go.
Okay. I would like to draw your attention to his belt buckle and how it's not drawn correctly.
What are you talking about?
I think the gem is supposed to be inset slightly.
It's just the angle is bad.
No, look
Yeah.
the angle is literally 2 different angles on the belt and on the bottom part and the
No,
top
I
part.
mean the angle of the entire dude is off.
Also, I want to say, Dallas, those are 2 separate pieces. Those aren't actually connected. Yeah. So, I mean, yes, I think that means that the top half is technically floating. I would like to remind you, this is a Yu-Gi-Oh guy who magically rides dragons that transform into bigger dragons. So I don't give a shit that his jewelry floats.
The thing
there are
that
some weird angle decisions in this, though. Yes.
The thing that upsets me the most about this boy is I could even, I can discard him, one of his human eyes, being covered by the beak. I don't like the fact he's got the human eyes, and then on his bird head, there's
His
also
bird
two
head has
other
really
eyes.
detailed eyes. Yes.
Yes.
These guys, I realize now, guys. I think I've got it. I get why they never hung out. These guys are like Mist Valley's weird cousins, who you don't talk to. You just don't talk to
No,
those guys.
I
I mean, they're the Legion. They're the Legion.
I figured it out. These are all. Oh god, what's the term for people obsessed with Roman history?
I
There's
usually
a
hear
specific
Romanabu.
term for it.
History buffs?
It's a more insulting. It's not Wereaboo because that's the Nazi shit.
I mean, I usually hear it as Romabu, but
yeah, it's something. But yeah, no, they're just a bunch of LARPy those people. They're all just wearing Roman cosplay.
So
I mean,
But also-
I will say this: this guy isn't actually even that Roman. He's wearing a
No,
much
he's
more.
much more the other half,
Grecian.
Celtic. Oh, I was going with Celtic, but
so-
Well, he's got the like phalanx, like not Roman, the Grecian hoplite like ab armor.
So for you guys, I'm posting an image in the progression chat, and it's just to me, it's a similar energy of which one is his eyes, which is the real eyes.
That's
Oh,
yeah,
God.
that's a good question.
Oh God, I don't like what I'm looking
what
at.
is this art?
It's
I
40.
like
This is-
it.
oh,
I
yeah,
showed
we're-
chat this
Yeah,
time.
this is a
Orpheus.
really this is a
Uh-oh.
Loth has shared with us a
SMT demon.
yeah.
Yeah, or
Well,
the
you guys
guy's head
hopefully
on
you
top
guys
of a
know
thing, right?
Fornius, the
The-
skate ray guy.
Yeah,
Um,
this is like the wrong side of the PS2 era.
Yeah, Loth has shown us a very spooky model version of him. But let's talk about Legionnaire's effect. He is a level 3 winged beast with 1200 attack, 800 defense, so a little squishy. When this card is normal summoned, target one level 3 or lower dragon Dragunity monster in your graveyard, equip that to this target, so he's basically has the Duke's effect. You can send one Dragunity card from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. So yeah, Legionnaire fishes out a Dragunity tuner as an equip card, and then he can send a Dragunity card from your spell and trap zone, which is mostly the tuner boys when this came out in Hidden Arsenal 3, to just pop a guy. Not the bestest strategy of Dragunity, but a decent option, especially because, as we established,
Flavors
Dragon
for
Ravine
both.
lets you get free mats in the grave.
It has Insector flavors.
Yeah.
I'll be honest here. If he didn't have the bird like cowl, I actually would like this card art a lot more.
The bird
'Cause he
helmets
actually
are
does look-
weird, yeah.
Because
I
he
also-
actually does
what-
look pretty stylish.
What
honestly.
what bird is
we
this guy
have-
supposed to be?
Yeah, talk about this. While it is sort of whirlwind effect that he's going through, just zooming through, also reminds me about the synchro circles that are in the anime.
Well, a lot of the Dragunities do have some dynamic angles, because we're actually going to pull up one of one of the really good boys. This is the good tuner out of our first batch.
Well, and while Legionnaire is going away, I would say with his design, I have less problems with his hood and more over his face covering that is causing his eye to get
Yeah,
blocked.
I mean, I think the idea, like with the fur trim and the face covers, is these guys are dragon riders in a mountainous area. It's probably fucking cold, right?
Yeah, no, like it
But-
makes perfect sense. It's more just in a design semblance. This guy has the Christian Bale Batman, or no, the other guy, Ben. Who played the Batman where he couldn't move his damn neck in that?
All of them, actually.
Was that all of them? Okay, well,
I think
he
up
has
until
that
Christian,
Batman
I think it
movie
was until
problem.
The Dark Knight, and that was a literal plot point where Batman's like, "Hey, I need to redesign my suit," and Lucius Fox's Morgan Freeman's like, "You want to be able to turn your head," and then he can turn his head. Like every Batman costume before that, you couldn't actually turn your fucking head.
Yeah, so, like he has that problem where he can turn his head, but if he does, he loses all depth perception.
So this is Dragunity Phalanx. I think I don't like that his nose is short.
I just noticed he literally just has like two spears, like
Yeah, he's got
notched into his head.
he's got
Yeah.
two, because he's a phalanx, he's a spear
Yeah.
line, and he's got shield hands.
Yeah, shield hands.
I think
look
he's-
at that. Sorry,
Go ahead.
look at that spear tip coming out of his chin.
Oh yeah, that also feels like this guy's the runt of the litter.
Well, he is
I
only
also
2
just-
stars.
I've also
Yeah.
just noticed that like all
Was
the
there-
bronze on him, I think is actually just armor because it covers like.
Yeah,
his
no,
But
like,
also
that-
his wings are
that's the aesthetic
bronze
here.
too. It's weird. I'm not sure what's armor and what isn't.
It might be a
Is
To
there a
me,
metal
it looks like the way there is space around his legs that all of the bronze is plating and not actually.
I'll say this. I just got back. Sorry. Of the tuners, I think he's the most aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah,
Not
I think
that that's
the
a
only
high
thing
bar.
the only thing I think I don't like about him is that he's got no nose. He has to sound like this.
Yeah.
It's covered, but yeah.
But like other than that, he's all right. I actually like that he has 2 spears. We didn't talk about it much with Dark Spear, but you can. These guys have speed lines and vortexes that are very synchro-esque, but also they have like these battle auras. This one is Phalanx, so he's got like a lot of spears, whereas Dark Spear
like
had one spear coming out.
I think of like background imaging, a lot of it is just we don't there's no need to talk about it in a lot of
Yeah.
art. This is actually really cool. I like it.
Like he's doing speed lines, he's shooting out auras. And Phalanx, by the way, we talked about that. That's the Greek hoplite formation. One guy with big shield and spear, and you form ranks. So he has spears and shields, even though he is one man, one.
Yeah,
dragon
and
man.
I mean, even though it doesn't really make sense in this in the idea of like he's gonna like clash combine his fists to make one shield line. It wouldn't really work like that, but I still like I like the idea.
Yeah.
Also, the easiest boss in the Soul series.
You say that.
Here I will explain
I
why
do.
Phalanx is the best of this initial wave of tuners, and I believe is still played to this day.
He still played in builds where you have the space.
Yeah.
is
I
what
think
know.
he's like at 1.
Yeah, he's a weird one-off because he's a soft once per turn.
Yes. So, Dragunity Phalanx is a level 2 Wind Dragon tuner with 500 attack, 1100 defense. You didn't give a shit about that. Once per turn, while this card is equipped to a monster, you can special summon this equipped card. So, you guys may have noticed there's a slight issue when you look at, say, Dark Spear and those 2 equipped guys, right? How do you get your tuner off your Winged Beast? You don't.
Yes, you
Unless
summon
it's
Phalanx
exactly
is how.
Phalanx, yeah. And that's all Phalanx has as an effect. There's a later version, I think it's Remus. One of the later tuners has also other effects, but also still has Phalanx's effect to unequip itself. So,
Yeah, it's Remus. Remus is just better.
Yeah, but this...
No. Klus has the summon effect.
Okay,
Remus
so-
is just.
There's they have a lot of legacy support, like we said, but yeah, Phalanx really makes this engine go. If you can put him into the graveyard with Ravine or Foolish or Dragon Shrine or fucking anything really, which you can do in Dragons,
Yeah.
you
Klus's
then you
effect
play
is it just
Dux, and then you can go into one of their 6s we'll talk about that was in their initial batch. That also lets you immediately recur Phalanx and go into an 8. This is the Stardust line.
Unfortunately, Modern Dragunity doesn't use their 6s anymore because Klus's
Well,
effect
yeah,
is
and-
limited.
Well,
like,
also their old school 6s have those restrictions I talked about. They require you to use winged beast monsters.
To have a minor flashback to Dragon Ravine, even though they have a Dragunity like searcher, more than likely you're actually still using the graveyard setup even in Dragunity because of the fact that you need graveyard setup for your tuners. And
But
your equipment.
the effect does require you to discard, so you can discard Phalanx, search Dukes. You've got the combo.
Yeah. So yeah, like if you have one or the other piece, you have a way to get to the other one more than likely.
Yeah, and to clarify, Phalanx is played exactly if you're going into a Dragunity build that still uses 6 synchros.
Yes. If you're not using the Sync Sick package, which you may not be,
Yeah. Usually you're just using a Gayderg and one of the new ones.
there's so
Because,
many. But do we
They
have
have a lot
anything
of
further
synchros and a
to
lot of
say
them
about
bad.
him? Anything further to say about the boy, the man, the myth, the legend?
I don't
Our golden
think
child,
so,
our
really.
mascot. I used
No.
him in the thumbnail.
We might also want to pick up the pace because if we're how many we got to go?
Oh, we're not even out of the first wave, and we are 40 minutes in. We yelled about
I'm not a-
MBT for like 5 minutes, but we're in here for the long haul.
Yeah, then we
I
fucked
think
up
this
Blast
is-
a little bit.
We've
always
got
on
the
blast.
first runs of Dragunity Knights, their synchro monsters soon. We probably won't be talking about this guy's effect very long. This is wow. Is everybody okay? Did somebody fall over and die?
I was lost.
I'm fine.
I've died.
Wait, what?
I'm coming to heaven.
Okay.
But
I didn't fall over.
I would say though that like we're usually slow to start because we're setting up the aesthetic and we're explaining things.
Hello,
We
this is
usually
Dragunity
pick up somewhere around
Tribus.
the hour mark.
Also, I feel like this is the first archetype in a while where the art is actually bad enough that I have things to say about it.
See, I kind of disagree with that. Like, the dragons themselves the baby dragons look a little derpy. I like all of the not winged beast people. It's just that they tend to have something off with their design, but they're not bad designs.
And I think
guess
as we
it's
get
just
into
an
editing,
aesthetic
they'll
choice.
get further. Like, looking at Tribus here, I don't think there's anything actually wrong with his design. Like,
Yeah,
yes, he's got that. His bird hat, his falcon hat does have a very menacing eye, but that's probably intentional.
I actually like the way it looks compared to the others, honestly.
Yeah.
'cause it's
He's
like
got a
face
little
mask.
little strip out there. Like, his armor's not super over designed. I think he
Got
might
pockets.
actually just straight up have wings.
He
Yeah,
has
yeah,
the
he's
weird
armored.
he has the weird hip windows that I hate in clothing in
See,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
like-
It's just a
Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't really look like a hip.
Uh,
Like it looks
it's
like
just different
there's
shading.
still like covering under there because we also see a skin color. So
Yeah.
I think it's more. I think it's more just a weird aesthetic choice.
Okay, so
I will also bring up.
uh,
Okay.
okay, why do you feel like he's either about to throw something or about to drop some sick beats?
He's gonna throw.
Well-
He's gonna throw those little feather-shaped knives at you, and then he's gonna drop his new mixtape.
I was trying to say they turned out like I like the touch that he just has like pouches full of throwing.
Yeah, no,
feathers.
those are actually look pretty cool. Like, they have they look like they're made of like shed dragon scales or something.
It's
Yeah,
the same with
like,
his,
Travis
it,
Scott
it,
color,
it,
yeah.
it might not be unintentional that a lot of these guys have kind of a Batman aesthetic to them with like the kind of gadgets, the armor, like
Yeah.
the animal motif. It's probably not unintentional.
Supposed to be wearing like
With
actual
Unity
militant,
Gambit.
flavor.
they're supposed to be like wearing like actual militant armor, so yeah, I think that
Yeah.
shows.
And
It's a
also
shame
they're
that the
they're
one-
insulated. They're insulated against the heat. Yeah, Dallas is gonna say the thing. Go ahead.
it's a shame that one of the better card arts is absolutely fucking useless.
Yeah, I said this before. Tribus is bad, and he should feel bad for his effect specifically. This is a level 1 winged beast with 500 attack, 300 defense. When this card
never
is normal
expected.
or special summoned, you can send one level 3 or lower dragon type monster from your deck to your graveyard. So this is a ravine or a dragon shrine that eats your normal, or you have to special this guy for some reason. Why the fuck would you?
This feels like he doesn't look like a level 1. You think like he'd be a bit like a level 3 or a 4.
I mean, if there's a Dragunity monster that gets an effect from being sent from deck to graveyard, maybe?
But you can just use that off Dragon Ravine though. Like
I
the
know.
problem is he's redundant.
I mean, so
Like, if Dragon Ravine
technically,
was-
this guy came out first before Ravine hit, but then the deck probably wasn't very consistent until you got Ravine. Was the problem?
Yeah.
I would argue the deck was probably bad until you got Ravine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and,
like
with-
obviously,
without
Tribus has a
actual
reason
setup,
to exist,
There's
but
no. There's no way to have this guy pop. There's no way for Dragunity pop off, but to waste resources to summon a Foolish where you can just play Foolish Burial.
yeah.
Yeah, and I posted a picture of what this guy's alpha reminded me of because I'm just like, yeah, he looks like he'd be part of the Yu Yu Hakusho Special Defense Forces.
Really intentional, and I would say that I don't know how prevalent it was in actual like Roman times and like the aesthetic they're going for, but I think the idea of the Dragon Riders like styling their armor and aesthetic to resemble winged beasts is an interesting design through line.
So the armbands and the Space Marine pauldrons, no, but like
No.
a lot of them have the sub elements of like belts and the kilts and the stuff that are a little bit more.
It's not my least favorite art, but I just can't stand the theme. Like, they all look like they're just cosplaying, and I can't get over it. Like,
Well,
none of these look
Dallas,
like
you have to
actual
remember,
effective armor.
Dragunity is not the only archetype where their type doesn't make any sense. Types don't matter.
No. Not even just that. Like, just the way their armor is designed. Just something about it doesn't look real.
It's because they're fictional, Dallas.
Well, no. Not literally.
I don't have
He
this
inherited
problem.
some of the
He's got.
previous.
I mean, this guy has very round pauldrons. Those don't look real because nobody has ever had Space Marine pauldrons ever. Space Marine pauldrons
Yes,
exist so you
no.
can paint them, but other than that, like, nah, I don't see anything wrong with this.
Oh, Zed, that
I
sounds
think it might.
awful.
I think it might be the color of the armor. Like, just the white looking, like, flat, matte white armor just doesn't look good. Oh, speaking of flat, matte white.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
This
so
is
when
silvered.
we have a second between transitions, I do have something I want to comment on from earlier.
Sure. Come in. We just brought in a new guy on
Yeah.
the screen. We can let this marinate.
I hate this art.
Yeah. So no, you guys were talking about why does Red Eyes get all the shitty ideas? It's because they use Joey's cards for all the shitty ideas.
But
Mentioned,
the
yeah.
cards they make based on like Red Eye's Archfiend of Lightning. Well, that's Summon Skull, so that's technically a Yugi card. But like Red Eye's
Yeah.
Gearfried is amazing.
Yeah.
Red Eye's,
Well,
you know,
not even saying like the specifically Red Eyes Joey cards, but like they use what was it, Gearfried for Gemini in like what the third wave of.
no,
not the
Red Eye,
third.
Red Eye's Gearfried is fucking based. He's the best.
No, he's thinking of Phoenix here, Freed.
Yeah, Phoenix Gearfried.
I mean, they also
Oh.
did that for the Gemini thing. Maybe that's why they went with the Red Eyes angle with the Gemini, because they'd already tried to make like Joey a
Yeah.
Gemini guy, even though Geminis didn't
But
exist.
I need to talk
Not-
about this art because this art physically hurts me.
Wow, you're just a judgy guy then.
No, he has ripped, muscled arms, and it bothers me.
Yeah, he's got
The muscled
Stardust arms. His
it
arms
bothers
are
me.
literally Stardust's arms. You should
I
be
think I
complaining about
literally-
reused assets.
I think I literally brought that up in the Stardust.
So-
It's the episode where we berate Dallas for having a bad taste instead of me for once.
Possibly. If Dallas is going to be
Yeah,
upset at
maybe.
every fucking Dragunity, I'm going to tell him how
If
wrong
they
he is.
all have,
So-
if they all have jacked arms, I am.
That
So,
sounds like it's-
this
Holy
is-
fuck,
this
Jack Tarvis.
is a-
Yu-Gi-Oh!
This
Go ahead,
is
Loft.
Duke's writing. Oh fuck, what was it? Phalanx. big
It might be
phalanx.
Phalanx. It's definitely
It's
Duke's because he's got the helmet
I
and
think
the
it's
wings.
Darkspear because it has the gem.
Yeah, it might be Darkspear.
Which one's this again? Because I think.
Oh, right. I don't know if
I-
we said this. This is Dragunity Knight. That's their synchro subtype. Gaybulg! Or Gaybulge, if you want to get the joke in. Get him in chat.
Also, if you
Able-
want to get the joke in, this is the guy that dies, right? Every time, hits the field,
Yep.
dies.
Never would
No.
never want to fight.
But yeah, so like aesthetically, like you can see what we're talking about, right? Like this.
I like the Duke's half of this art.
Yeah, this actually makes Dukes look way cooler.
Yeah,
Probably
this
because he's smaller.
is- Yeah, this is just writing Phalanx.
No,
He also has
Dukes
a-
looks.
He also has a really rad spear now.
It looks
mean-
like he.
Oh, I was gonna say if this
That
is
wasn't
Duke's writing
David,
Phalanx,
you weren't the
then
guy
they-
who got interrupted. Okay, sure.
Oh, sorry.
Dallas,
Dallas.
you were the middle.
Oh, I was just saying. Yeah, no, the Duke's half of this art is really good. I can't. The dragon part, I can't.
I have
It's
my only
fine.
concern
It's
is.
a person with dragon.
Also, his wings are so small.
Well, I think he has multiple sets because he's got some back wings. The question I have is where did his legs go? Because I'm pretty sure all they had legs when they're back.
Yeah, no,
Is
all the
Duke's
dragons
hiding
have
his
legs,
hips?
but when they become the Dragunity Lights, some of them just lose them.
They become
Also,
slightly more like Eastern Dragony.
Well, I do feel like
No,
they
Wyvern.
took the scales from Ancient Wyvern and stuck it onto Phalanx.
Well, I don't
I
think
was the
Ancient Wyvern
weirdest
existed
thing
yet.
is like the guy
Yeah,
sitting
I
on his
know.
shoulders with like the indention like dark spear, but
Yeah.
like it's I still think it is weird. Like I was like it is weird that it's basically it is top of a dragon man, and the bottom half an actual dragon body.
Well, no. I like I said, I think the Duke's part of this art is actually great. Like, and if Duke's looked like that in his actual art, that art would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is the dark spear half, because once again, his I'm pretty sure it's dark spear.
Marth
gonna
literally
say-
said it was Phalanx
Oh,
earlier.
it's
Thanks for
Phalanx?
listening.
Yeah, plus dark purple, same as color as Phalanx.
And he has
It's
two face blades.
Yeah,
I know
was
what you're
gonna
talking
say,
about. This is rad. Dragon Riders are
if it-
cool.
If this is Duke's writing Phalanx, then they knew the combo.
I've
Yeah,
already
maybe
made
so.
my aesthetic positions on this art clear. I don't like
I-
the summon skull
I just
looking
think
arms.
I just think the giant dragon torso is weird.
It's not giant. It's the smallest part of his body. He's got way more proportion in his back
Oh,
half,
so-
which
so
may or
let's
may
talk
not
about
include hips.
let's talk about what the gay bulge does. So he's a 2K.
Yeah.
He's a Sync 6.
Yeah, Sync 6, Wind. He requires one Dragon-type tuner and one or more non-tuner Winged Beast monsters. So he is not technically archetype locked, but obviously you're supposed to play him with Dragunities.
Generic, but specific enough where there are very few decks you could play this in that is not Dragunity.
Yeah, I mean, it does at least mean that for old school Dragunities, you could mix in non-Dragunity guys, like Flameveil Guards, for instance.
If there are combo pieces for that.
Or also, Raizo is another popular one in Dragunity builds. Because
That
he's a
makes
wing
sense.
beast for
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah.
Well, because each of them is a type that matches their attributes.
No, I understand, but also, wing beast.
I mean, monarchs are thanks to Master Duel, we now understand that monarchs are eldritch forces of fucking your shit. So
Yes,
it doesn't
they're
matter.
eldritch
that he's a wing
forces of
beast.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, they.
Actually, wait.
Makes sense
what
that they go
type
in
is,
Dragunity, then.
Mobius?
Mobius is an
Mobius
aqua, I
is
think.
Aqua.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
is
he's
he just-
he's
Yeah,
an
he
ice
is.
boy.
Oh, okay. He's an
Anyway,
alpha.
we're talking
He's not-
about Gay
he's not a
Bog's
fish.
effect. If this card attacks or is attacked during the damage step, you can remove from play one only winged beast type monster from your graveyard to have this card gain the attack of that monster until the end phase. My boy, were you? Yes, you were never reprinted. So this is
Well,
this
and
is
what's funny is
PCST.
you actually could banish Ryza for this and get a beefy ass gay bulk.
Yeah.
For
So
one
it
plane.
basically, Gay Bug is a somewhat small boy. 2K on a 6 is small, but he has an inherent, basically honest type effect, and you know you have to
If he
have at
battles,
least.
not if he attacks. So a lot of these
No,
cards
if
really
this
have
card
this effect
attacks or
only
is
on
attacked.
attack. But having it on battle means
Yes.
that he can do it at both
Yeah.
turns, meaning that
And it's during
the
the
opponent,
damage
the opponent
step
has to
Is that
the opponent
until
has to
end of
basically
turn or
beat
just until
over-
the end of battle?
until the
usually-
end
you-
phase.
the end phase. So usually, the opponent has to find a way to beat over a 3K bungus in some sense.
Yeah,
most
because
of the winged beasts you're going to be banishing have a decent amount of
yeah, it's
attack to
probably
make this
Dukes that
3K.
gives you that would give you 1500, so he'd be 35. That's pretty
Yeah,
big.
he'd be large.
It lasts
Yeah,
until
he-
the end phase, and it is also, as we said, in that very critical damage step. So that makes it even harder to fuck with, because you can't activate a lot of things in the damage step that don't specifically say so. So
Yeah.
this is a decent boy. He's a decent part of the combo.
He was definitely a staple of older Dragunity decks.
Yeah.
I think he may have been power crept a little bit just due to effects.
Yeah.
No, this guy is definitely not played anymore except as a 1 if you have the space and some
Now,
universe.
I do believe that his sibling, who was not released in the same set, but around the same time in 2010,
No.
Gay Dirg,
He is
actually still
a-
used.
yes,
and you'll see
because
why
he's
we get to his
an-
effect, but let me pull up
He's
his
a
art.
generic inarchetypal tutor. Hey, those
So-
are good.
Let's
But
see.
but
Where's your art?
but what about Gabe Blood?
We haven't got that far. So, though, Moral Talk. And did we get an artifact, Bialtak? Ever?
No, Bayotak and Moraltak are the red and blue swords.
Okay. So, yes, we did. So, there's some funny stuff with artifacts, some crossover. Anyway, this is Gay Dirg, which is Legionnaire riding, I think, a guy we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, no, this like we know what you're looking at. I can see how this looks weird. I think this looks cool. Like I do agree that muscle definition is a bit
The
too
buff
much, but
arms.
it's not. I don't dislike it.
I
The
mean,
abs are too
this
much.
is a
It's a
hu-
JoJo character.
But also, Dallas, large creatures need muscle or they explode.
Honestly,
This
I
guy
would be
has to
willing
be
to
able
bet
to
that
support
this
his own
is.
body weight.
I believe that this is Dark Spear, as weird as that may sound.
Could be Dark Spear.
something cube square law.
Here's the thing.
So,
It's
we
more
muscles
than
talked
do
about
not
their
grow-
muscles.
Go ahead.
Muscles do not grow like grow like this on quadrupedal creatures, which leads me to believe that the Dragunity dragons are entirely bipedal on land, which I'm not comfortable with.
Well, I mean, technically, Dallas, they're hexalimbs, or actually, this guy's got octolimbs because he's got extra back wings on his hips. So they have a lot of limbs. Also, boy, Long Dragon is long. I don't think that's a bad mark, but like from this angle, like
really
with
good looking, yeah.
Gabe Bulg, you couldn't really tell if he has like legs. I think he had the hip wings, but seeing Gay Dirg from below, you're like, oh yeah, this guy's huge.
Also, I have to point this one thing out about the muscles again. Why do his pectoral muscles look inflatable? Like specifically the
I think
what
that's
it-
just
what
like
would
a
it be, the
manga
right
art style thing.
pectoral? I don't know.
It makes me
the
think of
muscles bother
like.
me.
It's
makes me
just
think
the Baki adjacent muscle design.
Yeah, it makes me think of
It
like
is,
part
it is
3
very
stuff.
hyperized and exaggerated, but it is trying to look, in some sense, accurate.
I think this is the best face I've seen on a dragon in this archetype.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah, the
far.
dragon's face is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Legionnaire and
Okay, so this is one of our other Sync 6s. It is a Wind Dragon Synchro. 2400 attack, 800 defense. As you can see from this picture, no ass what to speak of. One Dragon Tuner, one or more non-tuner Winged Beast monsters. Once per turn, you can add one level 4 or lower Dragon or Winged Beast monster from your deck to your hand, then discard one Dragon or Winged Beast monster.
So interesting thing here is you can add the cards you immediately want to pitch.
Yes. So yeah, no, and it's a soft once per turn. So if you get multiple Gay Dirgs, you can do many searches and discard.
You can do shenanigans.
I've just had a very weird revelation.
What's up?
So I can weirdly see Magician's Red if you can weirdly see a face in the neck of the dragon, and then using that torso in the hands.
I mean, he does have a very bird-like face because of his blades.
Like, if you just look at how his midsection just seems like it's almost like it gets detached from his torso. I just see Magician's Red.
Yeah, I guess. I definitely think like there's some JoJo stuff, but yeah, no. Gay Dirk is a good searcher, so you will see him in other decks when you can do the combos because, yeah, he search.
You can summon this guy. You definitely play him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a one of mostly. I'm looking at deck lists,
but he still maintains enough utility.
Again, I'm pretty sure their entire extra deck is one of, except for Romulus.
Alright, let's see if we can get some good art of this one.
Oh, is it the other Sync 6?
Yeah. So this is another interesting thing. The way these guys rolled out was their Sync 6s came out in a block, but then you didn't have, even though one of them is the one we're about to bring up, Dragunity Knight Vajrana.
Well, no, Gabolg was in Hidden Arsenal with the others.
Well, yes, but Gabolg is also a 6. They're all 6s.
Yeah, that's the confusing part about a lot of this is they didn't always keep all of the Hidden Arsenal stuff in Hidden Arsenal, unfortunately.
Well, because some of them were released elsewhere. So this is Vajrana. Dallas is gonna do some dumb comment about something, but I like him. He's good.
Looks fine.
He's got lightning. That's important.
No, honestly, this is the best looking synchro so far.
Why the fuck does everybody always pick when I'm streaming to
it's
just
a weird
making art dump posts? I will set the slow timer to 5 billion.
Omega, I have muted art dump since the day I joined the server.
But I like art dump. It's just I can't. I'm streaming right now, guys. You know I'm streaming. Including the one of you who is in this call who keeps posting.
I just muted for 4 hours. I'm disputed for 4 hours.
I think the only problem I have with this art.
What's up?
The only problem I have with this art is just the shade of orange, but that's just like a minor.
Yeah, he's got a little reddish orange that I don't love the most.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But I definitely think design-wise, this is easily the best of the.
I get yelled at because I love this color. This color looks sick.
I mean,
it's not as bad as it could. It's definitely not the worst shade of orange. That's weird to say, but
as a guy who likes dragons and red, I mean, I don't think it's a bad color. It's not my favoriteest color composition, but I think I get what they're going for with like the gold and orange.
I'm not that much of a fan of the face or the angle of the face, but aside from that, no, it's good.
Actually, I think the face is pretty good
He's
because he has an actual face.
Yeah, he's staring you down. You're about to get fire blasted.
The only problem I have with the head is the weird like head crown thing, like the one that is different colored.
Yeah, but they all get their headgear all gets more elaborate.
I would also say that something that does look a little off about this guy is that his eyes are the same color as the gems, so they also look like gems.
Also, I do have to bring this out. Whoever designed this person's chest muscles do not know how muscles work. Because just look at that fucking.
I mean, nobody from this era of Yu-Gi-Oh understands how abs work. We know this.
It's more Rob Life.
He has a 24-pack.
That dragon was huge. He was jacked.
That's the whole story.
Also, this one's really interesting because we haven't seen the two. Even though this card was released before those bits, we haven't seen the two guys who make this. This is Militum and Aklis, who we'll be talking about shortly.
It's also kind of funny because this card, while it looks the most threatening, I don't think will ever actually attack over the course of a game.
Oh, no. This is pure engine. So let's talk about its effect. So this is Dragunity Knight Vajrana. This is a level 6 Dragon Synchro. It has 1900 attack and 1200 defense. Even smaller.
Extremely large.
Yes.
I know about this.
But it is one Dragon Tuner, one non-tuner Wing Beast monster, when this card is synchro summoned, you can target one level 3 or lower dragon Dragunity monster in your graveyard, equip that target to this card. Once per turn, you can send one equip card equipped to this card to the graveyard, double this card's attack until the end of this turn. So obviously the idea is you equip a guy, and then you can immediately pitch that to double your effect. Guess what? Don't do that. That's dumb.
If I may, I assume the design intention was to make a guy who just gets big, who just gets really big once or twice if you have other ways to do it. But in actuality, you summon Phalanx and Synchro Climb.
Yes, Vesper mentioned the important thing about Phalanx. He's a soft once per turn, so if you put him in the graveyard, you sink him away and get him back, he can unequip himself, and then 6 goes to 8. Guess what is also a winged dragon and a generic 8?
Fun fact,
Stardude.
I'm pretty sure this is what got Stardust banned the first time.
For us,
I can
definitely.
easily see that.
Yeah.
Because it was just turn 1 Stardust.
Yeah.
No,
this...
the whole. If you do the whole, we talked about the Duke's Phalanx combo. You go into Vajrana, you get Phalanx back, you have Stardust or any other sync.
Dukes and Phalanx are just a 2-card Stardust.
Yeah. And with Dragon Ravine in the deck, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it's basically like a 90% chance turn 1 Stardust.
And honestly, that is probably part of the reason why, along with other just dragon good stuff. Like I believe people hybridized, obviously Dragon Rulers. You hybridized some Dragunity stuff in there when they came out, but also I believe there was even some like hieratic Dragunity builds and stuff.
Dragunity Rulers was a one of the all the Dragon Rulers were put to 1, so we got to figure out something else to do with them decks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as it
Very
turns out,
interesting.
Dragunity worked all right with them because you could synchro climb into some large numbers.
And
using
also
some of the
because
Dragon
they are
Rulers.
wind and involve wind dragons, you actually get to use Tempest's effect.
Yes.
That too.
Also, I'm 99%
Wait,
sure
Tempest had an effect?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It requires
I'm
wind
99% sure that Dragunity, Dragon's Ravine is at least in large part of the reason why Dragon Ruler format was so dominant.
Yes.
Yeah,
you
because
get to
it was infinite setup basically. Because is it also a soft once per turn? So if you have multiple ravines, you can just do it 5
is
times.
a soft once per turn.
As long as you have cards in your hand to pitch, you can keep ravining.
Yeah, I can see why that and Dragon Rulers were a big problem. But are we moving?
Yeah, we're moving on to Atlas. So,
oh my lord!
yeah. Atlas is, I think, one of those cards where there will be no argument.
What is this art?
He is a derpy boy.
Yeah.
Now he gets a hell of a glow up.
There are 2 main problems with this guy: his wings
The
and how
only
tiny
2?
his head is.
No, I can think of more. Why does Bug got so much neck?
Also,
Well, I mean, you've seen them all. They're very long dragons.
also,
And honestly, I don't think his neck would not look long if he had a bigger head. That's the thing.
He has
Yes,
a stubby
Moth?
nose.
okay. So also, why does it feel like a fiend snuck into the Dragunity army?
It's the color. It's definitely the color, and it all goes back to how tiny his fucking head is.
He has a small
the
ass
fact
head,
that
and
he's-
his wings are attached to it.
His armor makes it look like he's wearing a fucking protective cone.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
no. This is easily the worst.
But also,
Dragunity tuner art.
proportionalized wise, he's named after an Atlas, which is a type of javelin. He is not Dragunity javelin, but actually, I'll do a line tool so I can draw a straight fucking line. But I want to point this out to you. That's how much of the proportion of this art is the giant ass spear on his head. That much.
Well, I will say to bring up something that Zed has said in chat. He looks more like a weapon than a dragon.
Yeah.
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 Like there obviously is that aesthetic in their naming sense that they are named after weapons. They went too far on the weapon side than the dragon side with this.
Now
guy.
I will say, like I
They
said,
went too
this
far
guy's-
with a lot of things.
This guy's got a hell of a glow up in becoming Vajrana canonically, but damn.
Yeah, no, him becoming Vajrana, holy shit, good going, lad.
Be careful of who you make fun in high school.
Basically,
They might turn into turn 1 Stardust. So Atlas is another level 2 tuner. 1k attack, 800 defense. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon 1 Dragunity monster from your hand, then equip it with this card. When this card is sent from the sent to the graveyard while equipped to a monster, select 1 card on the field and destroy it. So Atlas is not the best card, but there is actually a Dragunity that unequips cards it's equipped with. So you can do it on the monster end. I think it actually might
Also,
be
if I
check.
may, Omega.
Yeah.
Look, if this guy becomes Vajrana, we have to deal with the implication that where his wings are is actually still part of his neck, and his head just grows further out.
His head just gets... Well, you guys said he had a small head. He must have heard you talking shit. Now he has
Because, like,
big
if we
head.
go back to Vajrana, we can see that his wings are no longer anywhere near his head. They are like at his back. So his head just like snaked out another like 5 feet.
I'll
His
say
wings are
this
back
as
at his
well.
shoulders, yeah.
There's an unfortunate fact that I don't think this card has ever been used in a Dragunity deck.
No, Atlas is not good.
I
I specifically have used it in Prague because we are playing in a limited
progression
format.
is progression.
But no,
Frog is frog. We will play whatever the fuck we're given.
but like
Also, sorry, I'm looking up deck lists of cards. When the fuck was Dragunity used in Spiral?
I mean, it was probably just combo lines for link plays.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, Distrudo. That makes sense. Never mind.
Yeah.
I take that back.
But
I forgot
but
Distrudo
yeah.
was a dragon.
Destrudo, the dragon asshole. Pay half your
Destrudo.
life. Die.
I was gonna
Distrudo.
say, funny enough, he does stuff in synchro too.
But yeah,
Distrudo.
so-
It's fine that this card is at 3.
Atlas is not goo.
No. In art or in effect.
No.
I can see Atlas doing things, but not the right things.
Yes. And so Atlas was technically, along with the next few we're going to do, was in a bundle with the Dragunity Legion structure deck.
Which didn't that not have a bunch of any of the Dragunity synchros in it?
I think it did have some... Actually, no, it didn't. That's right. The bosses were these guys we're about to talk about. The Dragunity Armas. They still had the materials, but they did not bring over the synchros.
I'm fairly sure Gay Dirk
so
was
like
in the structure deck.
He might have been
because
reprinted
it's-
in the structure deck as well, but he was also in a core set.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
aesthetically, the Dragunity Armas are weird. You'll see as I'm
Yeah.
about to pull up Levitane here.
Oh, and looking at the lore document explaining the military formation of the Dragunities. Dragunity Armas are dragon knights who become so Chad they don't need a rider anymore.
Yeah, basically, like, and as you can see from Levitane here,
Arms.
Dallas, you heard it here first. If you have big arms, Dallas hates you.
Well,
Dallas,
like,
this
if
actually
you're-
makes sense. He has to wield a sword.
No, canonically, if you're a dragon and have big arms, yes, I hate you. That is correct.
Okay,
Like,
fine,
this-
but
I will
this
say that online.
Dallas,
This guy looks just like Red Dragon Archfiend, who's about to throw some hands.
Vesper
Yeah.
just explained to you how Dragunity armas work. This is literally a dragon who lifts. I do want to say I like that he has feathered wings because it fits with the aesthetic. This guy is his own rider, right?
Yeah.
He
All
has
of him
big
except for
feather
the arms, I really like.
Dallas has
You
weird
heard it here
arms.
first. Dallas hates arms.
Dallas skips arm day.
I think the angle is a little weird. You can't quite appreciate what's going on, but I love that he just has a big fucking sword.
Oh no, I like the sword.
Sword is gonna hit you with it.
He looks like he just took Buster Blader's lunch money.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, Buster Blader showed up, and this guy was
Just
like,
give me
fuck you, get in the hole.
Fuck you, give me that.
Buster Blader thought he was gonna have a good time. He did not.
Yeah, out of
You
the
ain't
two,
nothing but Buster Blader, you ain't nothing but a buster.
Out of the two of the arm ones, this I definitely like more. I love the face on that. This is probably my favorite face on any of these dragons.
Yeah, so he's got a slightly unique aesthetic, but he fits into this armor scheme, of which there are 3 total.
There
one
are
of which
3.
is printed way later.
Yeah. Of the 3 Dragunity armas, the first 2 were released in like the structure deck first printing. The third one was released like 7 years later, I think.
Yeah.
No, more than that.
The armas, but what the armas slot into is they are an attempt to give the deck a main deck type boss monster.
Because
So-
Konami feels like they have to always do that.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know.
I mean, in case you can't synchro climb. Or
Well, yeah, I mean, like
something
it's
because
not a bad
someone
idea.
plays
It's
a
more just
certain-
really an idea that works.
Yeah.
a certain what was it? Lose one turn, something like that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and you're not you're.
By the way, if you're wondering where Axe and Loth have gone, they are taking a shower break because the rest of us are way too fucking yelly.
I am already on my second can. This is not a good sign.
Uh-oh.
Second can of what?
Of stuff.
Okay.
You can name brands.
The go-go juice.
I'll allow them to sponsor me.
You know, I mean, like, I dig this design. I mean, like in some sense, I can agree with Dallas. I can see why Dallas does not like dragons with arms. Dragons with arms are fucking sick.
It's birds with arms, but scales.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a level 8 wind dragon. He has 2,600 attack, 1,200 defense. Once again, no ass to speak of.
I think I know what my problem is.
Got it?
With the arms.
Go for it.
I think it's the rest of the dragon themselves are much too lean. Like
It is
the
true.
thing why I
Their
think-
bodies
'cause
are very
like the reason
thin and long.
The reason I think the red dragon archetype works is because all of those boys are chunky. Like,
Yeah,
they
And
like,
are
even
yeah,
then,
very
some of
big
them
muscles.
we
True.
did Signer dragons, and we did all the red
Yeah.
dragons. Some of them are too chunky. Some of them are
Like,
too
I
small.
can't.
Yeah.
True, but I kept making fun of Stardust for being emaciated, and I feel like the Dragunities all have that same problem.
Well, I mean, I also want to throw this out there.
I
I
would
feel like,
say-
especially with the way their arms are designed, they knew what they were doing. They knew you'd be making Stardust with these guys.
If I may, I would say they went more twunk than Bara.
yeah, no.
Uh,
No, these are the twunk dragon archetype, and I
so,
hate it.
by the way, in case you guys don't get the name here, this is Levitane, which is, I believe that's Loki's fancy sword.
I'm looking it
Or
up right now.
It might be Surtur's.
It's Wikipedia. It is a weapon crafted by Loki.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's
yeah,
the one that
it's
kills,
spelled a little
what's-his-face?
weird.
He killed Vidofnir.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Armas also, like the Dragunity Knights, have the mythological aspect. So you can special summon this card from your hand or your graveyard by removing from play one face-up monster equipped with the Dragunity cards. Dragunity cards, yes. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can select one Dragon-type monster in your graveyard except Dragunity Armor Levitane and equip it to this card. When this card is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can select one of the monsters that were equipped to this card when it was sent to the graveyard and special summon that monster from the graveyard. So yeah, Levitane is just a big boy main deck boss monster. You can special him from your hand or graveyard by doing the equip setup. So you can basically do your synchro play, but instead of synchroing, you can jump straight to this guy.
Yeah, I would say this guy does not seem like a bad card. He's more just a card for a different build of Dragunity that is never played because it's not
I
as
also
good
wanna
as the
say,
Synchro Dragunity
I think
build.
the flaw here is that while obviously like Atlas has like a funny effect when equipped and some other stuff, I think the main problem is at this time period, I do not believe there are now actually Sync 10s in Dragunity. When this card came out, there were not Dragunity Sync 10s, and there were not good
No.
generic Sync 10s. So
Well, and
Yeah,
the
he
other
does
thing,
not play to the other dominant play style, which is Phalanx Go Burr.
yeah, like taking a glance, there are two build there's one build that they wanted you to play, and there's another build that they thought you would play, which is Synchro Dragunity and Union Dragunity. Be like they're not unions, but they're essentially it's Union Dragunity is probably like the way to describe that. That build, well, I don't say it's bad. It's not like it's not like bad, but it's not good.
It's not as optimal as the synchro play, so it fell to the wayside.
And they made Atlas because they thought people would still try to play that equip Union Dragunity build, but it just doesn't do it.
And you know, maybe they were thinking that in the future they would release more support for some of these stuff, and maybe they were prototyping.
Sometimes Konami remembers to future-proof, right? Like you can think to yourself, okay, because synchro we've talked about before, actually has like a skill ceiling. You need to think about your lines and your math to make synchros work.
Yes.
And that honestly, I think that's why Xyz is so butt simple. 4 + 4 = 4 kind of shit. It's because synchro actually requires you to pre-plan.
Wait a second.
And how links are even more simple
Yes.
than that.
Because pendulums also require you to do math to pendulum properly. You have to like figure out your scales and make that work with your deck. So
I gotta say,
I feel like
how to
every
have it.
time Konami does like a new extra deck method, they keep alternating back and forth. So if they do another new one, that means we're probably due for a finicky skill based one, which I think people would appreciate.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
'cause
say, which is part of why I think I like Synchro more than say XCs and
I definitely
I
see why
actually
people
love-
have
yeah.
better nostalgia. Like as an I think that Konami realized that they like that accessibility because Xyz can become like low skill floor, high skill ceiling. Same with links, because like actually link climbing and doing link climbing and co-linking that requires brain power.
Oh yeah, no,
but
like,
just
I was gonna
summon
say,
one, make a link one is that's even more moronic than two level 4s make Utopia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, I don't mind links when it's not just I'm just combining a whole bunch of stuff into
Almirage
access
Pass?
code. But you know, I do like links when they're not just, you know, access coding.
But yeah, so by the way, I've had the art pulled up for a little bit. This is Mistletoe, the other starting Dragunity Arma.
Yeah.
I
mean,
would
his
say with
sword
this
looks
guy,
cool.
I don't like that he has both the dragon and bird wings. I don't like that.
Well, I
I
think mostly I don't like that the order's reversed, because like Levitain had that too, but his dragon wings were his hip wings. This guy's bird wings are his hip wings.
I don't
know
like that
why.
this motherfucker is the Heinz mascot.
Also, yeah,
Mustard and ketchup. What
to
the
execute, or also to execute on a joke used by several other prominent YouTubers, this guy is definitely piss colored.
Yeah.
fuck? Yeah, no.
I was
Blown
wondering
up.
why I wasn't digging it. This is the pissiest piss yellow I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
like
Yeah, this is the worst shade of yellow possible.
it's not
I
a good
think.
look.
Yeah. Also, feels like the air is just being sucked out of everywhere.
And unfortunately, this is by far the better Arma monster, which
Yeah.
oh well.
So I do like his sword design. Like again, it's got like weird curves and stuff. It's neat. I do not like his color choice. So
No, remember how I said I usually don't like orange, but I was okay with the oranges they used in this. I usually don't like yellow, and this just enforces that point.
So, Mistletoe is a level 6 Wind Dragon, 2100 attack, 1500 defense. You can special summon this card by sending one face-up Dragunity monster you control to the graveyard. When this card is normal or special summoned from the hand, you can select one Dragon-type Dragunity monster in your graveyard, equip it to this card. So, this is also a turn 1 Stardust. Like, this is an alternative line to Vajrana, which is why you've probably actually seen this guy, because his cost isn't banishment, you just have to send to grave. So, you could normal summon Phalanx, send Phalanx with Arma, revive Phalanx, unequip Phalanx, Stardust.
Why does this guy have two different sets of wings?
So you missed the first Dragunity Arma loft. That's that seems to be their theme. The Dragunity Armas are Dragunity dragons who got so swollen Chad they are their own rider.
Okay, I didn't notice that the other guy had.
Yeah.
Well,
two sets of
and
wings
like I'll be
that.
honest, I didn't even notice that either. Like it was just so lost in it was just so lost in the rest of his design.
Well, it's like I said, it's because they were on its hip. They were like lower down, farther back. They were more subtle. This is like, why is there a big bird or a shining friendship glued to this guy's ass?
Yeah, it's definitely because like with the skin tone, like you notice the other predominant color a lot less. So like you see it more as part of the armor than the wings. But with How's reverse, you see his big old dragon wings look down and just see a puddle of piss behind him.
Okay, card art for this guy. So our next contender is Dragunity Brandistock. Meh.
Mandy Stalk.
I mean, honestly, this guy looks.
They're one of the worst arts.
I mean, I think he looks
This
kind of
guy's
cute.
Trying.
Also, before we get too far away, did we mention Mistletoe as far as like the actual like sword?
Oh, yeah, I looked it up. I did not mention it. It's from
Isn't it a Fire Emblem sword?
well, it's from an Icelandic saga first.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a
Let me just.
legendary sword.
Konami, also, it's a weapon in Castlevania and also Fire Emblem, but that's because if you are in Europe and you wrote down the name of a cool sword, Japan has stolen that name. They have culturally appropriated it and put it in a video game.
Yeah, like I'm looking at it. It's in Black Clover. It's in Is This a Zombie? It's in Project Arms.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think anywhere outside of Japan is Mistletoe that famous.
There was a joke I had with a friend because I do know about Mistletoe mostly from Fire Emblem. It's the most famous sword that no one actually knows the origin from. It's like, oh yeah, Mistletoe, it's that famous sword.
It's in...
For what?
Yeah, I was gonna say...
It's in fucking Minecraft, guys.
Yes. No, it is.
So, Brandistock here.
Wow.
He's wearing a big armor.
Yeah, the armor is
cute. This guy just looks cute.
Yeah, I think he looks cute.
yeah,
Like, he's clearly too small
tried.
for his gear.
He's a very ugly baby look.
He'll grow
He's
into
the
it.
mascot. He's the mascot, okay?
I need to play the ugly baby song. Where is it?
I'm gonna try and see if I can.
Can we play that on stream? I don't think we can.
Well, I'm not gonna play it on stream, but I'm just gonna
I
put it
need
in
to
chat.
see if
and,
I can. Okay, I can find a picture. Talking
I don't know
about
what-
obscure weapons. This guy is named after a Brandistock, which is a peasant weapon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that sounds peasanty to me.
Yeah,
It's or a boutafoire.
yeah. So
Okay,
that's a big one.
Mr. Fancy.
Let me see if
No,
I can shrink this.
it's also called that, and it has butt in the name, so I had to say it.
I thought you said Futra at first, and I was
So-
really concerned.
No,
This is a
I'm just gonna fix the
Brandistock.
name in chat.
It's a dumb.
Oh, one of those things.
Yeah, it's a dumb triangle sort of thing.
That's a buttafour.
Yes, it is
What's a
actually called a
butt-for?
butt-for. For
It's a
stabbing
butt-for.
the patriarchy, Dallas. Shank the establishment.
Yeah,
True. Very much true.
I've put the other name for Brandistock in chat for people to want to see. It is
Yes.
literally spelled. It is literally butt four.
Yeah.
Butt up four.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be pronounced like, you get your best Cockney accent on, you say it's a Butterfiore.
Well, yeah,
It's
like it's,
Uh,
that's what it's supposed to be, but it just looks
sounds
butt four.
French or
It could also be
possibly,
Italian. Butterfiore.
Yeah, no.
Mamma mia, mamma Fiore.
I'll call out Zed in chat because yes, no, that is insanely the Fireball Awakening specifically derpy looking general armor. Of like, I have an armor 5 sizes too big for me.
He's gonna grow into it probably. I
This guy-
said, I don't think
is
this guy's
also
like super
for
pretty.
The
but,
Union Dragunity build.
yeah.
what this guy
You've
does.
probably not heard of him unless you are exactly
No,
Robin playing this deck.
This is hardcore ugly cute.
Now,
Is the best way I
admittedly,
can put
like
it.
utility-wise, this guy is their first level 1 tuner, which can be its own reward. But
Yeah.
it mostly is for, as Vesper said, the Union type build. So this is a level 1 Dragon tuner, 600 attack, 400 defense. While
Yes,
this card is equipped
because-
to a monster, that monster can attack twice during each battle phase.
It's not a bad effect at all.
No.
Honestly.
Oh, yeah, no.
If you are
But
going to
also-
play equipped Dragunity, this guy does go into that deck.
But also, being a level 1 tuner means that it makes it real easy to synchro climb.
Yeah,
If
no,
you
I
do
mean just
use
play
it
1
for
for 1,
that.
right?
Yeah, you can run for one this guy, or I assume just reading that this guy has level 1 tuner has more text than Brandistock. You probably play him now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, because it used to be back in the day, like I said, having the level 1 tuner was just the cool tech, and then Konami realized,
yeah.
wait, we need them to actually do something.
They need to have an effect on them, which this guy does have an effect, just not with synchro.
It has
There's
absolutely nothing to do with
synchro.
the fact that he is a tuner. But
But,
it does make him a valid 1-for-1 target. Anything else to
who
say
is our
about
next
Brandistock before? Okay, so no. Then next, Dragunity Javelin. Meh.
Obviously
Yay,
named
finally
after
a
Javelin.
He's got a big head and little arms.
A very long tail.
I don't know if it's the way the mouth is designed. His mouth looks wet, and I don't like that.
There are specular
Yeah.
highlights on his mouth, yes.
Also, same piss yellow. I can't.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
This-
So this is the guy who becomes Mistletoe, I assume.
Probably.
I mean, like
He's purple
They're-
and,
they're-
and gold.
they're both piss yellow.
He's the piss yellow.
Actually, this one looks more like a Lakers mascot.
Also, I do want to throw this out there. Also, he's purple and gold. This is also Golden Frieza's favorite Dragunity. Daddy monkey.
See, that's how you can tell who's the weeb and who's the cultured person.
The fact that you referenced
this
the
guy
Lakers.
this guy you play in
Yes.
Michael, I laughed
Fire
at
King
both.
Community.
Yeah. So I don't think there's a lot to say about Javelin's design. It's also got that oversized armor look. Like he's very wide, right?
Yeah, like the only thing we could say about this card for the next 5 minutes is the word piss. Really.
Let's
I was
just
gonna
let's
say,
just.
he
do
looks
it.
like he's about to go crashing into something like a javelin being thrown.
The intention, similar to Atlas, is probably the intention with this design. He is designed to be just a weapon of combat, not something to be ridden.
Yeah, so this is another level 2 tuner, and he doesn't have the same effect as Phalanx, so automatically inferior. But 1200 attack, 800 defense. If this face-up card, if better than when, while in the monster card zone, you can equip it to one face-up wing beast type Dragunity monster you control instead of sending it to the graveyard.
Yeah, so you play this card in Fire King Dragunity. The singular insane person who made a deck because they read this card.
Yeah, but it's not very good. Like,
No.
yes,
Fire
hypothetically
King
with
Dragunity.
like I said, I believe
As
it's
far as I know,
Militarum.
that is not a variant of Fire Kings. There are some
Well,
more
I'm
Fire
making a
Kings,
joke.
Yeah.
I'm just making a joke.
I believe it
Oh,
is.
okay,
I
okay.
believe it is Militum. Is the one that lets you unequip and equip to it. So like that technically lets you like recycle Javelin
Visper,
again forever.
You
but-
say, Visper, you say that, but do remember, Fire King Cosmo was a real deck that topped real tournaments.
Well, but see,
yeah, okay.
we're
yeah, it's
not gonna
Militum.
get on this tangent, but basically, I don't think there's a way for you to pop this in Dragunity. So why
No,
is this not
probably
affecting
not.
Dragunity?
No, there is, but it's stupid.
Okay. I'm not familiar with the archetype, so
Yeah, no,
I assume it's like they can destroy a card.
Unequipping
say,
from,
yeah, earlier
unequipping
guy,
from
didn't you?
Legionnaire. Yeah, unequipping Legionnaire.
No,
You
it
can
has to be in the
technically-
monster card zone. It can't be in the spell and trap zone. So it has no synergy with Legionnaire.
No. Unequipping Atlas from Legionnaire gives
Oh.
you a pop.
Okay, so
But why
like
would you
yeah,
use it
you
on
could
your
technically
own
do some
version?
combos, but it's not very like that. I guess that lets you get 2 Legionnaire pops. It's not very good. Here is Militum. We heard of her earlier, but here she is. She is a lady.
Yeah.
She is as the Lord document puts her, the female Dragunity.
Yes, you can tell she's a chick because she's wearing biker
Japan.
shorts under her skirt. Though her skirt is shorter.
I'll say it right now. I think this is the best looking main deck Dragunity monster.
The best looking one. I think because of the fact that the helmet is reined in a bit because they wanted to look. They wanted
More
to look
feminine.
Yeah, feminine. I was trying to think of the word the best way to
Well,
phrase it.
honestly, I would argue she looks just like tell me if I'm wrong on this. She looks like the party ranger or rogue, as opposed to warriors like the other ones.
Well, yeah, like
Yeah, that's fair.
she looks like Hawk. She looks like some variation on Hawk Girl. A bootleg comic design, but it actually looks pretty good.
No, this looks really like.
I would also say,
I'd say,
I think
what
one
was
of the
dude
positives.
what was the
Go ahead.
dude with the ninja, the feathered ninja stars?
Tribus.
Tribus.
Yeah, her. If all of these arts looked like her and Tribus, I would have a much better opinion of the Dragoon.
Yeah, what I think the problem was just where the Yu-Gi-Oh art style was at the time. Like, big dudes were big, right? So like Legionnaire and Dukes are supposed to be big boys.
Look,
Whereas
Dragoonity needed
Tribus
more
is a level
twinks.
1, so he looks slim. And despite the fact that Militum here is the strongest main deck monster so far, spoilers, she's a level 4 with 1,700 whole attack points. She is not, like, hugely muscled. She doesn't have giant pauldrons. Her, like, wing pack is kind of, like, tied to her back, it looks like.
Well, at this point in Yu-Gi-Oh, if you were a male character, you were either a fucking brick house like Street Fighter 6 Ryu, for dating.
Oh, gee, no!
Or
This
Street
man,
Fighter
don't put
6
that evil
Ryu,
in the
or a
world.
tiny twink. Or
Yes,
one of those
Don't put
two.
that evil in the world. God, Street Fighter 6 Ryu.
But, yeah, she's got more, other than, like I said, the bike shorts, which actually might just be she's wearing, like, because it's the same color as her top garment.
It's fat is what it is, but it does have those bikers, that biker short aesthetic with how punk she's looking in that outfit.
What have they done to you?
But
One of the few
I
times
like her
with
little
a-
sandals. She's got a couple of blades.
Why did
One of the
Ryu
few times
eat
with
Ken?
One of the few times with one of these guys, you can see the hair flowing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because her, like I said, her outfit's actually pretty minimal. You can see the clear break from her helmet to her like neckline because she's got like the bodysuit and then like a collar. And honestly, like it's more detailed yet more minimalist. Like she's actually got less bits to her suit, which I think is a good thing, right? It makes every bit of her
there's
design
a
more
lot
identifiable.
happening, but it doesn't feel like it's too much all at one place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was Militum had the effect I was thinking of. So she's Winged Beast for wind, 1,700 to 1,200. Once per turn, select one Dragunity card in your spell and trap zone and special summon it. So Militum lets you de-equip your equipped tuners to actually do synchro plays. And because she's 1700, she's actually like just a decent body to have in this deck because she doesn't die if you just have the verbal summon her.
I mean, like, I would say that the other big one was the one we discussed first, Dux, because he is also a Dragunity card you control, so he is also a 1700 beater by default.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if he gets, like, negated or something, God forbid, he becomes a rather wimpy stat line.
But yeah, but like, I mean, but you still definitely play this card.
Mm-hmm.
One, because it's a good body.
Yeah.
Two, it has an effect that works with builds if you're playing the weird Dragunities who have to have someone summon.
Well, and also, ideally, if you're playing a synchro build, you probably need more than 3 tuners.
Yeah,
I'm also fair. Yeah.
This is a Black Rose setup.
Yeah. I'm fairly sure this card was played until 2018 when the third set of support got released.
Yeah,
And
probably.
then also I need to run back. What level was Atlas again? I think Atlas was a 3? Oh no, Atlas is a 2, but that's still like basically the Atlas becomes, he's not very good, but Atlas becomes a second line into the Vajrana combo. Or into your 6 combo, because you can Atlas, Special Militarum, Militarum detaches Atlas, Sync 6. It's not as good because you cannot recycle it, but it's another line you can do.
But yeah, so who is up next if we have nothing else to talk about? This girl.
I will grab his art. It's time for Dragunity Primus Pilus.
Primus Pilus.
No. Oh no, I've never looked at this man this close
Yeah.
before. Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
You've never actually looked at this card?
Yeah, this art is not,
I've only seen him as a secret rare.
Not great.
Why he looks like a
So
fast
is
food
the
mascot,
Taskmaster.
guys.
His wings are a shield. His wings are a shield.
Why is he Captain Chicken?
He has a straight up whip.
It makes him
His
sound more
skirt is so
intimidating.
short. His wings are a shield.
Wait,
Oh my
what's
God.
the fucking Monster Hunter bird?
Tetsukabra?
Is it the bird up
Oh.
Monster Hunter bird? Is that the
Yeah,
Chupacabra?
the Yin Katku.
Yeah,
Whatever
yeah,
that is, he's wearing that on his forehead right there.
Yes, that is a Katku head.
God, this art is so bad.
Like, so when I
Which
saw
is
the
too-
when you're in the secret rare and you can't see the detail on his dumb bird hat, you're like, okay, he's got a bird thing sticking out of his hat. When you zoom in, you're like, what the fuck? You're like a big boy. Why do you have the derpiest hat? Right?
Zoom, enhance. No, go back. Fuck, go back.
And
What?
this guy is pretty high ranking. The term Primus Pilus is the senior centurion of a legion. So this guy is like up there in the ranking.
I choose to believe he's the senile old grandpa instead.
Militum, by the way, I think just means soldier.
Yeah, I think militum is just actually like the word of military. Like
Yes.
like
I was
it,
gonna
I
say,
think
it almost sounds like where we would get our base for militia from.
Probably it's the same root word in Latin, I'm sure, in Romance languages.
it is for military tribune, like the officer of the army.
Okay. So this guy is a senior NCO, by the way, to translate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot wrong with this. Like I said, I'm also, like, I know we haven't looked at his knees, but look at his knees. Look how short his skirt is, and then there's just his little knees knocking out there.
Also, for a callback, his belt looks proper this time.
Yeah. But I think he also, I think, has a few too many colors. He's got, like, this teal, and then he's got, like, orange and yellow and red. No, it's
and
all
white
orange, okay.
and gray,
Yes.
and also his like
And
his
also
tan
his tan,
skin
yeah.
tone.
And he's got, like I said, he also has a literal fucking whip.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I don't like
which-
this art.
The whip on its own could be fine with the rest of his outfit. It's feeling dominatrixy, and I don't like it.
No, it's
Thank
feeling
God you
like-
almost never played this guy.
No, it's feeling. This is not dominatrix. This is cosplay fetishist.
That's basically the same thing at that point.
He's also
Yeah,
his collar
dominatrix
is
has more credit.
huge. His collar is huge. Look at it. Look at how high those collars go. Right up to his
And
ears.
he's definitely got the WoW collar.
This guy can't actually turn
No,
his
because
neck.
his dumb beak is gonna bounce off his giant metal fucking collar. Anyway, like I said, thank God you don't have to play this guy. This is a level 5 winged beast, 2200 attack, 1600 defense.
He's level 5. He automatically sucks.
Yeah. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can select one face-up winged beast type Dragunity monster you control, equip it with one level 3 or lower dragon type Dragunity monster from your deck. So his effect is rad.
That's a really good effect, actually.
But he's a level 5 guy, and
yeah.
This deck doesn't have a
effect.
good special summon engine in it.
Yeah.
At least for the winged beasts.
Yeah, like that effect is actually based as fuck.
Yeah,
it's just that
because that
anything
lets you
level 5 means it's impossible to play it.
Yeah, so like hypothetically, this means that you could go into Phalanx from your deck because he is a winged beast Dragunity monster you control. You can equip a Phalanx, unequip it, sink 7. Sounds rad, right? You have to normal or special summon him. How are you doing that? And I think is the key
I guess you're 1 for 1 and then tributing over that 1 for 1.
Yeah, that's sure. That's a great plan. Yeah, it's too slow is the problem. Like, as a guy who really likes Dragunity and tried to make them work in Prague, I think I ran like one Pelis. Because technically,
exactly one,
you can special summon
second.
him with Aklis, because Aklis doesn't have a level restriction.
There are exactly 2 techs I can think of to make this work.
Yeah?
Cost Down and Mischief of the Gnomes.
Yeah.
I can think of one more, and it was a build of Dragunity that I saw ran this card. Dragunity with reasoning focus, because a lot of
That's
Dragunities
true.
have
I mean,
weird, funky
you would
levels.
totally bait them out.
The problem
right?
with that, you don't play reasoning in decks that have normal summonable monsters majority-wise, because there is no actual graveyard setup, and you're just gonna mill the trap spell and trap cards you want to see.
And like, also another thing you could do, you could play like Mausoleum of the Emperor, but you don't do that. You already have a field spell.
To be fair, Visper, this was also a build that ran a lot of dragon rulers in it.
Of course.
I could see that as a way, because he is normal or special, right? You can do funny things there. Your opponent calls 7, and you're like, okay, smartass.
Yeah.
But no, when actually, like, because this guy came out in the structure deck, when this guy came out, he was not very relevant because he was way slower than your other busted-ass Dragunity combos. Which, saying he equips a monster, some of which can special summon themselves from the deck, and he's too slow, yeah, that's a little sag. So that was all of the structure deck guys. Now we're actually in Hidden Arsenal 4. And as like I said, there's a lot of waves of this. This is all within their first, like, couple years of release. So, okay. I'm going to say this name both ways. So, you would not go wrong, technically, if thinking this was Dragunity Angusticlavi, but I took 2 semesters of Latin, so it's actually, canonically, because there's no hard V sound in Latin, it's Angusticlawi, which explains why he has that dumb eye on his head.
I'm gonna say Angus Clavi.
Wow. One of the first of these guys that we can actually see the mouth.
Yes, his face isn't covered. I think that's a good detail. The fucking bird eye really kills it for me, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's way too much detail on that big fucking eye. Because otherwise, this guy's pretty slick.
The eye is almost cartoonish.
It's so bad.
Like, honestly, if I... Actually, hey, wait, let me see. If I can I fix this art right now?
I'm pretty sure
eye
I've
out.
only
I think it looks way better.
3 arcs of this entire archetype.
If you just take everything about the eye out, I think this design gets like 3 times better at minimum.
I think this also looks like... Never mind, I'm not gonna...
Yeah, it's the weird thing of, like, besides their hat, it looks fine.
Well, no, there's also...
Super off center.
Also, I do not like the...
I mean, the shading's off, but it looks way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it definitely does.
I mean, yeah.
Honestly, if it was a close-slit eye, it would have probably been better.
Yeah, if it was smaller, it would work. Dallas,
I
you have
also do have
thinking about?
Yeah, well, it's an issue I have with a lot of art, of the random belts from nowhere on all over.
Oh, no, Dallas, there are actually a reason. Those are all their wings are attached via belts. They're belted onto their back. They're glider packs.
Okay, but why does he have one around his arm?
That? Yes, that's just an accessory. Maybe
Like I said,
maybe is that
random...
holding his bracer on? It could be.
But that wouldn't...
Might
I
be,
mean,
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
because it looks like
Random belts
it looks like it's the
everywhere
edge of
is-
cloth to it.
I mean, this guy's not a horrible offender of belts, but yes,
No,
he
it's
does have some
not.
extra
But
belts.
I'll say this: it's like it's not a. This isn't even a Yu-Gi-Oh problem. This is a fantasy
Anime
art
problem.
in general. Problem
Japan
of,
never
like,
really got over whatever
well, it's
the
not even
belt
just
phase was.
Japan. Yeah, it's not even just Japan. It's American comics do it too. Of just like,
Actually,
why
is
does
it the
this
thing
character
of-
just have like 3 belts over his chest? I don't know.
I
Well,
mean,
if they have
it's
pouches,
not-
it makes sense.
Well, is the belt meant to be for his quiver, or is it too low, or is it too high for that?
No, that
I mean,
if-
like,
no,
you
his,
also
his
don't
quiver,
put your
his
on
quiver is
your arm.
attached to the base of his metal belt at his back.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the belt may have some indentation to slot that quiver
Look,
onto.
The belt on his arm is the only one that I'm like, okay, why do you
Yeah,
have
and
that?
now that you
Like,
pointed it out,
one
I'm
on
like,
his-
yeah, you're right. That's a little weird. I don't know what that's
No,
attached to.
the one on his chest makes sense. One on the gold one on his waist makes sense. One on his arm, okay.
I mean,
like, arm
I
guards
think
are
the belts
important
on
for
his arms
archery,
are more just
but-
than straps, but they look like belts because of the because of the latch.
But like I said, other than like the eye thing, which I've painted out and made this way better, and like he's got an extra belt for some undetermined reason. The rest of the art's
also
pretty
the-
good.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think if we saw the concept art where it show you like a straight on angle, would probably look better.
I mean, I have a few like nitpicky things, but they're not like important.
I mean,
enough to mention.
the angle he's actually firing that bow at doesn't
Yeah.
work. He's
That-
got
that's
his
not how
cheek
you
against
fire
the
a bow.
bowstring.
I don't
but,
care
like,
how fucking anime you are that you
it-
don't.
he's
That's
still-
not how
it-
bow.
It's not gonna. There's no,
I feel like
arm
the
strength
string
there.
was added in post when like the editor saw this and was like, "Hey, this pose is really dynamic and really cool. Where's the bowstring?" And the artist was like, "Fuck." Like,
I mean,
it's
I think
so
it was meant to be
thin.
magic.
Well, I mean, like
So, like-
not only is his cheek in the bowstring, his entire fucking body is in front of the
Yes,
bowstring.
no, his entire body is in the bow's.
Yeah, well, so
you don't.
I have
He's gonna cut himself in half. Yeah.
some
you
of
don't
these.
shoot it.
Well, no, it's not going to cut himself in half. The bowstring is in front of his chest, but behind his arm.
I will
Technically,
say
that
this.
canted style, because the arrow's on one. Actually, no. Yeah, there is a problem with this. The arrow is knocked on the wrong side.
Yeah, like I'll say this: it is a problem with fantasy in general, especially after the Hunger Games brought the archery craze into a effect. Much like guns, you do not shoot bows horizontally. You can cant it diagonally if
Yeah,
you're
you
kneeling
don't-
or
you
on
don't
the
cant
ground,
it
but
that
you do
far,
not go horizontal.
And I don't think it's technically horizontal, but he is also.
it's almost horizontal.
This guy
I mean,
is doing
Dallas,
a.
Dallas.
This guy's doing
He's
a.
flying.
Well, this guy's doing
That doesn't matter.
a Link jump slow time shot, right?
Do you know what that would do? You would shoot the arrow directly into the ground.
And yeah, but no, he's got it. He's got the arrow knocked on the wrong side. That's called the bowman's paradox. The way you traditionally knock an arrow is you knock it on the opposite side from where
Yeah.
you're sizing up your eye. So like,
Well, yeah, so your arm doesn't get fucking
yeah,
blasted
it's
by the
so
bowstring.
like
yeah.
he's holding the bow wrong, but like otherwise I like a lot of the aesthetic
Yeah.
here
The-
because he's got more
no,
minimalist. Like he's got the fluffy shoulders.
I think the only problem I have is the fluffy shoulders, honestly. But that's just an aesthetic thing.
Yeah,
I just
I
don't
get it.
Like, the
Like,
way
I
those
think it's
look.
important because they're supposed to be like up high. Like he's got the fur trimmed
Yeah.
boots and gauntlets as well.
No, I like
It's
the
not
boots
the-
and gauntlets.
It's not the fur trim on his
it's only
shoulders
the
isn't the
gauntlet.
best version of it, I'll say, but like
No.
it fits with the general aesthetic. I do at
But
least
yeah.
appreciate they tried to make a action shot. Like a lot of the other guys don't have it.
Yeah.
By the way,
Like-
this is a
I'll say he
the
probably
Angus de Clowie is from Angus de Claudius, which is a lower ranked military tribune. So he operates between the Primus Pilux and the Dukes.
I'll say this: I have. I'll probably, if I had to rank him, I'd probably put him like second. Like after, I still like Milam the best. I think. I think
So
he had
and
the
by
best
the way,
arts.
they went the extra mile in the TCG. In the OCG, this guy was just Dragunity Angus.
Oh, Angus.
Yeah, they
Angus
shortened
is
it that
fun.
way. So this,
That-
and by the way, the reason
just
why you've
sounds
never heard of
wrong.
this guy, he is another level 5 winged beast with 2100 attack, 1k defense. If this
brief
card
question.
is equipped with a dragon type Dragunity monster, during a battle between this, he's got piercing. He has the piercing, and he's pre-PSST, so the text line goes on for like 4 more lines. It's
5
piercing
minutes.
damage. It's piercing. So
it-
if
is
he
it
has a
with
tuner
piercing?
equipped, he has piercing. So not even like Primus Pilus, this guy's not busted enough to run.
No. like even in the jank builds of like, unfortunately, because once again, I think it's like I said, a second best art of the faction. He's just bad. Like, not the worst Dragunity card. I still think that's like fucking. What was that fucking dude?
Tribus? The one?
The 1-star.
Yeah,
the
Tribus.
Tribus.
Well, yeah, and like we said earlier, it's like Primus is good enough to make you want to try to make something out of what that effect does,
and then quickly realize, oh wait, this isn't worth it.
like it's not worth it at all. But it's good enough to make you feel like that you want to find a way to cheat this dude out.
But you don't
wanna try.
you don't read Angus and go, I want to make this work. You read Angus and go, I could literally just play Fairy Meteor Crush. I could literally play Fairy Meteor Crush and get the same.
I could
effect.
play anything else but this card, and nothing. And
I could
and
play
I would
Spear
have a better
Dragon
deck.
in this archetype, and it would make more
Okay.
sense.
I might be making this up, but isn't there
Play Spear Dragon anyway.
isn't there a fucking oh, my brain just died.
Tutor that gives piercing.
Oh shit.
Yeah, isn't there a Dragunity tutor that gives piercing?
No, we haven't. Not that we've seen yet. We did see one that lets you attack twice.
So I wanted to ask this better. I wanted to ask this earlier, like I was away during this, but like, what rank is Milim?
Militum?
She's
Militum is a military tribune. It is a ranking officer.
Yeah.
Like a
I know nothing about.
So
Roman
I
history.
like it would probably be the equivalent of
Yeah,
like
same
lieutenant
here.
or something.
yeah, like it didn't really give like a direct like rank. I think it was just the
Guys,
class
I could
that it
boil
is.
down the entire organization of a
military.
Roman legion because
Yes.
it's incredibly rigid and well detailed, and we have a lot of history on it. But we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
We have more
Yeah.
Dragoons to
Also-
go.
Also,
I wanna
also
say first thing on
the
this.
way officers work has
Whoa,
changed
dude.
over
Oh
the
my
centuries.
God.
This is
Atlas
Spear-
having grown a neck right
I
now.
want to get this out here before I like let you guys just yell for 15 minutes. But it feels like Dark Spear version 2.
You know what?
It looks like an embryo.
This is flesh scale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
By the way, I want to throw this out
actually,
there.
wait, no,
This guy was originally printed as a
Gawk.
super rare. I think he may have been color adjusted because he's never been reprinted.
I hope that's a color adjust, because dear
That
God,
better
that
be.
color.
Yeah,
because
I think
if-
because in the scan, let me pull up the scan. He looks a
This
little more
literally,
brownish.
no,
I
you
would
know
say.
what this looks like? You know what this looks like?
Let me.
I'll be very honest. This looks like one of the riders and their mounts got fucking John Carpentered. No, that doesn't look better.
I mean,
No,
it looks
yeah,
different.
this
So
is-
that's
it-
brown, and
Might
then
be not as
this
bright,
is
but
like
yeah.
fleshy pink.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
but
the-
even then though, like cards in that printing just have that semblance of the skin tone looks darker by default.
Yeah.
That guy is
Yeah.
definitely pink, flesh color.
yeah, this looks like one of the riders and the mounts got John Carpentered into one thing, and I don't like it.
So yeah, like color-wise, Corsica here, not a
He just
goop.
has human arms in his shoulder blades. Like,
If it was any other color, I think it would look fine.
no, it'd still look derpy because of the arms. But it would
I mean,
look
it
a
would,
hundred
but I
times
think
better.
it would look passable in the archetype as something
yeah,
that
no.
belongs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the
no,
color
this
scheme
was
just doesn't make
horrifying.
anything. Let me see if I can find a picture of a
Show
Corsica.
me.
Definitely
again,
give it
Which,
a-
by the way, if you're wondering why that sounds like a place, Corsica, the Corsec or Corsicae is supposed to have come from Corsica.
Fun
I'll-
fact: this
Massive,
this
hold on.
Dragunity card was actually in a lot of tournament decks.
It's always the worst looking ones. Here,
Yeah,
is
it's
the
always the ones below
Corsica.
dog shit that have the best effects to force you to
Well,
play
no,
it and force the opponent to look
it's
at
not
it.
even because of the effect. I could explain why. It's a dumb
Well, it's
reason,
also
but-
our other level 1 tuner, so there's
Yeah,
probably that.
no, because it wasn't played in Dragunity.
Do we have any- do we have
It makes
anything to say
sync
about
gates and
this?
dragon rulers.
Of course
Um,
it does.
It's a dragon tutor that makes sync gates. That's why
So,
they played
do we have anything else to say about this art?
No,
no,
no.
please take it off the
I
screen.
do at least
wanna-
appreciate
yeah.
that the artist looked at a picture of a Corsica and was like, okay, here's how I translate this to a dragon. But
I mean,
this is a level 1 Dragon Wind tuner, 800 attack, 700 defense.
Okay.
This effect can only be activated when this card is equipped to a monster. If the equipped monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can add 1 level 4 or lower monster from your deck to your hand with the same type and attribute as the monster this card is equipped to. So, I mean,
Not awful.
that's a really decent effect. The problem is that it's written to be generic, but it's absolutely not generic.
Well, yeah. The problem is in archetype the problem is in archetype level 1 tuners aren't great because Dragunity have 50 billion synchro monsters and none of them are 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
like
again, you have to remember.
And they
Ravine
do their
exists.
numbers I was
Yeah.
gonna say, do their numbers add up to 5 easily? Either?
No.
Well, that would be
yeah.
the thing, right? It would be you'd probably make a 4. Like Militum could unequip this guy.
Spoiler: all of the good Dragunity main deck monsters are 4.
Yeah.
Mm.
All the ones you use in the combo are 4, so that would be 5. Now that lets you go into other generic 5s that existed around this time, like Cataster.
But once again, I
TG
like,
Hyper Librarian would have been around here.
Yeah, just say TG.
Like,
Keep in mind this is only the 4th
Yeah.
wave, so there are only like even accounting for this, or the
No.
3rd wave. There's only like 5 Dragunity Knights in your extra deck, so
But, yeah.
you have the space for 5s, but it's still not very good.
No, genuinely, the reason this was played was you could search it off of Tempest and sync 8 into Dragon Rulers. So they played this at Dragon Rulers.
Which is dumb. All right, Corsica's
I
gonna
know,
go away
There are a
now.
lot of
I'm still proud that it
Dragon
knows
Ruler
this like
decks.
as it's just Dark Spear 0.5, I guess.
No,
I mean-
it's a different polearm entirely. X. It looks like a Corsica.
Yeah.
Oh lordy, I don't even have to zoom in
Yeah,
on this
the
motherfucker.
arts
to
don't
know
get
that-
better from here.
I don't even have to zoom in on this guy to know that we're gonna have an issue with this motherfucker.
I know what card it is.
Behold, Dragunity Partisan. If I can,
Y'all.
hello? Can you?
I was
Nope.
gonna say,
copy? Rah!
Oh, is it?
I'm gonna
is this
get
the one
ya.
that just has a fucking yeah.
I'm gonna get
Oh
ya.
God! Oh, this
Yeah.
this is the worst.
That's a bad
possible
angle.
way
That's
to
a bad
show
I'm gonna
this.
get you.
Yeah.
are you sure this thing's not an alien?
No, this is not a worm. This is
This thing looks like it should be
From the
putting an
any-
A counter on
from
something.
any other angle, I think he might look okay.
And also,
Yo.
to be fair, I mean, once again,
Yo,
he's,
guys, I think there's something wrong with Spyro.
he's named after a partisan, which is it looks like that. So he was
Yeah,
always
it's
going to have a
exactly-
really thick head. Unfortunately, at this angle, Axe talked about how it's a bad angle. He looks like he's got a dumb Pope hat on.
A lot of talking about the bad angle.
I am with the Pope.
Well,
Uh,
not only does it look like he has a Pope hat on.
He looks like he makes the noises from the aliens from Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, even chat said, "Is this a blade or a Pope hat?"
This is-
Yeah, partisan is very derp. Which is,
God.
again, very funny because he actually has a utility effect which does things.
No, I think he
Oh,
was actually
no.
played before Dragunity's got like the really good tuners.
Yeah, because like I said, hey, you need more than 3 tuners in your deck, and you have a wealth of them to
can't-
try and make
You
work.
can't just do. You can't just play Phalanx.
Yeah, no matter how good that combo is, but yeah.
You can't just
So,
play 6 copies of Phalanx, even if you
This
want
is
to.
a level 2 Dragon Tuner, 1200 attack, 800 defense. So normal type effects for this range. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon 1 winged beast type Dragunity monster from your hand, then equip it with this card. While this card is equipped to a monster, that monster is treated as a tuner monster.
Yeah.
So this lets you do weird things with your synchro packages.
Yeah, no, this is part of modern Dragunity builds that need higher IQs to play.
Yeah. Like, so, once again, the derpiest art actually has a lot of utility. Like, there's a lot
Also,
of
it's
weird
part-
things you can do with this.
It's part of it's part of my favorite Dragunity deck that everyone else will hate.
What?
Dragunity Bish Balkan.
What?
'Cause,
What is Bish Balkan?
You need a level 8 tuner and a level 8 non-tuner to summon Bish Balkan. And this is a pretty easy way to cheat out a level 8 tuner.
And Loth might know what Bish Balkan does, but basically it is FTK Turbo.
I was gonna say
It's FTK. It's
the card
FTK
was
Turbo in
designed
the
to do,
worst
like,
way.
Cool anime bullshit. What it does is FTK bullshit.
Yeah,
Well,
what
because-
people play it in the
The problem with
Or 50
Yu-Gi-Oh!
extra from-
TCG players is when you give them a funny haha anime effect, they're like, how can I make this happen turn
Right.
1 to win the game?
Well, no. Here's the thing. I love Bish Balkan, and I will play a Bish Balkan deck. I do not play Bish Balkan in the traditional, because the traditional sense is Bish Balkan, Tribute, Askelapisku, blow it up, win the game.
Well, and like we discussed this maybe off mic a lot. We are not going to ban an FTK enabler if you play it the way it's meant to be played, and not in the FTK enabling bullshit.
I mean, I'm gonna try and do the dumbest Bish Balkan FTK, which is Bish Balkan into Red Ice Flare Beals combo, which is stupid.
It's stupid, but I don't think anyone would like that happening to them.
No, I mean,
I'd like to see it happen, but I wouldn't like to see it. I wouldn't like to experience it.
Yeah.
So, do we have anything to say about Partisan and his hat? And also, his wings are really far up on his body.
Did we already discuss his effect? Holy
Yes.
shit.
I
Yeah,
can't
we
believe
know
they've
his
done
effects.
this to my
He
Partisan.
special summons a winged beast from your hand, a winged beast Dragunity, and equips it to them, and then they become a tuner. So it lets you do funny haha tuner things, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's a shame that it's attached to this face. This face is going away now.
I like the Partisan, the actual spear, but that
Why is there a
Dragunity,
goblin?
peel 'em.
Decide.
Why is there a
don't
goblin
have to
dragon
wait
with like?
This guy's an
Oh
alligator.
no!
This guy's an alligator.
Guys, it's just a goblin from like.
This is
fucking
Goblin
He-Man.
Attack Force Dragon. Yes.
No, this
Why-
reminds me of one of those enemies from Dinosaur Planet.
Why did they make Slimer a dragon?
I was thinking this seems like a
No.
He-Man.
Are you sure this guy isn't a
Why?
weird scroll?
That
his
yeah,
name?
it'd be Skull Dragon.
I need to find him. I need to find him on the list.
Phylum.
And look at him.
But seriously though, it makes me think of like this is like something out of fucking He-Man or some shit.
Yeah, he
there's a
definitely
lot of
looks
dumb
out
art
of.
things.
He
it looks
definitely looks.
like.
He looks out of that 70s, 80s Western cartoon things where
Yeah, exactly.
where it was just like five. They just drew 5 frames for a scene and just had very lo-fi audio voice recording as the voices.
I'll
Now,
get you.
I will say there are some elements I think that make sense. He has a very long spear point because he's named after the pilum, which is a kind of Roman javelin. They're the disposable ones. You throw them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Disposable?
those are the ones that are supposed to get stuck in shields, right?
Yes.
This guy also seems very
The enemy's
disposable
approaching
by the
you,
way he
you
looks.
throw the peel him.
The pilum is the heavy javelin. You huck it early, and then it tends to bend because it's so heavy. So you
Yeah.
can't.
Well,
Your opponent can't huck it back at you.
and also it was. I think that's the one that was meant to disable shields too.
As a heavy javelin, it also probably would fuck up your skinny Celtic shield as opposed to the glorious
It would fuck up
Romanic
your
scooter.
shield and also probably your arm.
And probably depending
And
on how
again,
you play
if
turtle,
it just
would-
hits dirt, it bends, so they can't throw it back.
What's up?
and
Bob?
depending on how you
Also,
play,
it would, like jam in.
I like
and
how
hit
Dallas says, what did you say, Loth? And then David just powers through like other people don't exist.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Loth, please speak.
and depending on how you play certain Total War games, completely destroy certain back rows of enemies. Because holy shit, peel him.
So, what were you saying,
Yeah.
David?
Oh, I was gonna say because this is the one that was supposed to like hit the shield and then it would bend as it hit
as
the
said before.
shield, and it would get jammed in there and it would ruin the weight balance of the shield.
Yeah, it does a lot of things
Like-
that fucks your shit up. So
Yeah.
this is a level 3 tuner.
I know nothing about Roman anything. I'm just happy to be here.
Basically, when this guy's summoned, he brings out a winged beast boy. He equips to that boy, and then that boy can attack directly, but at half damage. So he can comma to you.
Yeah, it's not really great.
Is a very
I think what I did was what's much better is to use Pelum to summon Militum so you can make Sync 7s. That's your one card Black Rose play, right?
yeah. So like he's not terrible, but he has to use your normal summon, which means that you don't want to really play him
Now,
anymore because your
admittedly,
normal summon
because this is
valuable.
Dragunity and you can just put him in the graveyard, this goes great with like the Arma guys, right? Like that subtype.
Yeah.
Because those guys are big, so they might actually do something funny if they attack. But its actual like combo potential for its own like first effect is summon Pelum, special summon Militum, Black Rose, die.
Yeah, it is either Militum combo or just a way to throw out an Arma.
Yeah.
I remember you thinking about something. I guess we should do heretics by some point.
I'm pretty sure that's on our long list of bullshit.
If it's not on our long
Yeah.
list, it should be. Because I like hieratics, because they're dragons and also Egyptian.
Yeah, some of the art's a bit. Their Exes
yes.
their Exes have great art. Their normal deck is
But yeah, some
Very
of them
hit or
are
miss.
derpy. Okay.
it is apparently not on a list, so I will slot it on there real
All
quick.
right.
Like a
Dallas
Tum-
is
a Tum
not going to like
specifically
this art, by
has-
the way. We're doing another Dragunity night. He's
No.
not going to like this one.
Wait, which one is it?
I don't have anything bad to say about Barcha, but Barcha is gonna.
I mean, I have plenty bad to say about Barcha in effect. In the...
he is gonna get
Jesus.
you with these hands.
Omega, look at that
those legs.
Look at that
Those
chin.
legs
Something bad to say about this card.
Those
That's
legs.
true.
Why
His-
does he
his-
have a penis chin?
His body is so serpentine, actually. No,
Oh, Jesus.
no, actually, there are some things to say. I'm definitely just looking at his hands. They're like, man, I'm gonna get you. I once caught a fish this big.
But like, guys, like seriously, look at his legs and look how they kind of look like they're deformed.
Also,
Yeah,
by the
He's
way,
got
is-
digitigrade legs, which some of them had. Which guy is this supposed to be? Let me look it up.
Is this guy the only Dragunity Knight who just didn't through a regular weapon and not like a very like mythological famous weapon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Pretty sure.
This is
his wings are in his neck.
Angus plus Pelum, by the way. Now, how the fuck you
Oh.
would make Angus plus Pelum, I don't fucking know. But
I can see where the pelum because basically it's like it's his head. He was upside down, then like his body
Yeah.
remorphed. And, like,
now, admittedly, that does
dancing
actually
around.
make Barcha because Barcha is the first 8 we're going to talk about. But yeah, it's not. You don't do that combo. But yeah, Barcha. I mean,
Exists.
I know that the green and purple is like a thing, but not this style of green and purple. He's like forest
Doc.
green, and then is he even grape?
Wait,
the
no,
green is
this
the
guy-
problem.
Wait, Omega, this guy's Atlas because look at where his fucking wings are.
Yeah,
In
they're
his
very
neck.
high up. He's not actually Atlas because he's got the wrong color scheme. But yeah, it's
I mean, yeah, but like this is
I mean,
definitely
the colors
Atlas'
change when they
brother.
go into the
his
divine
wings
form.
are so far up, and his hip wings are so tiny. This guy can't fly. He has to run across the ground in his weird legs.
I don't like how, with the serpentine body, he has legs that are so far down.
Hey Dallas,
I
I'm getting
think
like
this-
Devil Gundam vibes, where like the fucking
Yeah,
body-
this looks like this is the what is that stupid fucking Gundam Death Scythe
So
form?
his
Wait, Omega,
his
while we're
hip
talking about
line
this
is
card real
here.
quick.
And
Do
it
you
goes
want
up
to see
his
another angle of
shoulder line? Yeah, sure.
Omega? Do you
Show
want
me.
to see another angle of Barsha?
I don't know if I do, but I'll see it anyway.
Look at welcome to synchro ejection.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's in a card. Oh no, I gotta show that shit. Y'all have to see.
That's
Oh,
worse.
the thigh!
You
Oh,
gotta
he's
That's
so
see
worse.
that
fucking,
shit.
he's so long.
worse.
It's so bad.
That's way worse.
So long.
Way worse.
Look at it.
Look at it. Like
Where's
one.
it from?
It's from
synchro
synchro
ejection.
ejection. It looks like a bad trap.
No,
No, look at it. I mean,
I mean,
SpongeBob.
let's just read your
SpongeBob.
okay. Right.
since we're
It's
bringing the
SpongeBob.
card up.
It's been so long.
Select one face-up synchro monster your opponent controls and move it from play. Your opponent draws one card.
So the card is literally yeeting Barcha out of existence.
Yeah, it is banishing a synchro monster. It is a trap card soul taker only for synchro monsters.
Now, admittedly,
So
there are
just
some
shit
Synchro Monster
Soul Taker.
motherfuckers, but like, yeah, no. I mean,
They
I would
just run
want
Soul
to banish
Taker.
Barcha. Like I said, look at his body shape
I don't even
line.
look at him anymore.
Shoulders, torso, hips, tail. Anyway, let's talk about his
This
stats
boy
and
thick.
effect.
In a bad way.
So Dragunity Knight Barcha is a level 8 Wind Dragon Synchro. Now, unfortunately, you don't make him a lot because he has the materials requirement that all of them do. So you can't do the Vajrana climb thing.
So the thing is, in modern Dragunity, he's actually regularly played because he's very easy.
But
to
at the time in Hidden Arsenal 4, he was not very common because he was a lot harder to
he's
make.
bad.
So, because he requires one Dragon type tuner and then one or more non-tuner Winged Beast type monsters. When this card is Synchro Summoned, you can select any number of Dragon type Dragunity monsters in your graveyard and equip them to this card. This card gains 300 attack for each Dragunity card equipped to this card, and he's a level 8
Not
with
only that,
2k
but if-
attack normally.
But if I may, I believe how the Dragunity monsters are worded. You also get the effects of any of them that give
Yes,
effects while
because
they're
it says equip. So he gains 300, and presumably, by the way, you've got at least one because you had to seek him.
twice. He can attack directly for half damage. He
And
can.
he gets 3
and,
for each. So if you have the decent graveyard setup, you can. I mean, if you want to fill your entire
No.
fucking back row, that's 1,500
Well,
attack.
he-
So he's 35 as well.
you
I'll
also
say
summon
this.
a Phalanx, or you summon Phalanx to a sync 10.
Yeah, if
yes,
you could.
no, that is what you. That is
If you
what
could
do
do
in
that at
modern
the time, which you
Dragunity.
couldn't, but now it's better.
Yeah. Well, now we have Ass Kicker, who is
Like
They're
it's
Aztec or an Arid Berber.
Barcha is one of those interesting
Berber.
cases where when he came out, he was not a good Dragunity monster because he was too janky.
Yeah.
But now that like they've actually filled out the lineups and they've given you like sync 10s and stuff, he's actually a very decent card, like a really
he
was
is
a card that was designed to be played with the equipped Dragunity, but over time became played regular Dragunity because they gave a lot of Dragunity Dragon monsters equip effects that are good.
I can tell you exactly what Dragunity made this card mainstream. It's Kaus or Kus. Kaus?
It's probably Kaus will get there. That's later though.
Kaus is correct, or I believe it is called Kus.
Whatever you pronounce it as, that's the card that made Barcha a mainstay.
It could just be Kos. It could be somewhere.
Because
Some say
what
Kossum.
if? You remember when you said there was a better Phalanx? Kaus is the better Phalanx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaus says it's been 8 years. Let's let you actually play 6 Phalanx and then make him better.
Phalanx.
So unless I missed a guy, which I might have, there's a shitload of Dragoonies, but I don't think I did. This is our last Dragunity Knight, and so the last Dragoonies get for a little bit. This is Dragunity Knight Trident.
That actually looks okay.
Who is a 7.
Yeah, this like
the angle.
I mean,
helps.
like excluding the fact that his mouth is sealed shut. I don't think I have anything really wrong with this design.
This
He looks like Common.
is
He looks like Kamen Rider Formula, but a dragon, and I don't know why.
No,
I can see that.
What was up, David?
Oh, I was gonna say, is this one still wind?
Yeah, they're all wind.
All the Dragunities are wind type dragon or winged beast.
Okay. Yeah. No, I was gonna say because this one looks like it could be an aqua.
So,
Well, yeah, no, the Trident and blue aesthetic does give you the impression that it might be.
this
water
does
type.
lend itself to Axe's theory that maybe they change color, because according to the Master Guide, canonically, this is Primus Pilus riding Javelin. He is no longer piss-colored. Talk about a glow-up, guys.
Right.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
Word for
They are
and
glowing
also,
yellow,
like,
though.
just be
the thing is,
armor.
though, it's
Let's
like
be honest.
it's been established with a lot of the Dragunities that the armor like the bright color stuff is armor, so they can just have it wear different armor when they grow up.
I
So-
mean,
Yeah.
there's one of the synchros I thought was Darkspear was fully red, so I can understand them changing color.
Yeah.
So
I
this
want
is
to add a
Trident.
bit of.
Yeah. go
I
ahead.
think weirdly enough, the big Dragunities look better. The shorter their midsection are.
I mean, yes, the less non-Euclidean they are, and that makes their bodies make more sense, because the artists of these cards probably didn't necessarily understand proportions for serpentine creatures. They were just
No.
like, we're Japanese, longer dragon equal better, right? And it's
Like,
like,
if
no,
they
you
didn't have-
still
like,
give
if
them
it-
legs. That's weird.
Like if they didn't have legs, the length would have been fine.
Even if they did have legs.
But
they didn't have
yeah,
legs.
Trident
If it
here
was just wings.
is,
Oh, you mean if they didn't have arms? I agree with that.
no,
I
the
mean,
back
actually
legs.
legs.
The,
Because
the
it's like
back
the
legs.
arm thing is whatever, but like that's like the whole like serpent person thing. But
And also they
Okay.
have, well, I would once again like to reiterate, Dallas can't count because they've got 2 sets of wings in this form, so they have 8 limbs.
I literally never made a mention to limbs. I don't know why you
Yes,
keep
you did.
put-
You talked about their number
Why are
of
you
limbs.
gaslighting? Omega is gaslighting me. I want this on record.
Clip it!
You say that every time, Dallas.
Clip it!
Doesn't.
I have
Show up the
never
clip.
said that before.
I have receipts. Anyway, so this is a level 7
moon
Dragunity.
rats.
So this is your in archetype 7. So you actually have a
Fucking
reason to do
moon
that combo I
rats.
talked about. 2,400 attack, 1,700 defense, Dragon type tuner, Wing Beast. Once per turn, you can send up to 3 cards you control to the graveyard to look at your opponent's extra deck and send an equal number of their cards to the graveyard. So Trident's pretty based, yeah. In the Synchro era, if you've got the materials on field, which you just might, you have a Ravine probably. You get to peek at your opponent's extra deck and then be like, "Hey, that Stardust you only have 1 of? Fuck you."
Fuck you.
For all 3.
This card does
Nice
get,
1 of Black Rose, nerd.
This card does get power creep pretty hard in the Xyz era, but for now it's great.
Well, so like the actual hilarious thing about this effect though is that sending to the graveyard does things for extra deck monsters, because if they have not been probably special summoned, you cannot special summon them from the graveyard.
So they're
Yeah,
they
yeah.
haven't been destroyed or anything. They are sent to graveyard, so they are just
Yeah.
in the graveyard and fucked. Which is
So
what I'm
unless
sure
Sigma
Trident is
monsters have a
going for.
direct in graveyard effect like Cyframe Lord Omega or some bullshit.
I was thinking of Elder Entity, but
I was just like, just don't play this against Dogmatica because it's just gonna do something.
Well, yeah, like you side this out if you have the side deck extra deck monsters, but Trident and base in like 90% of decks that you're playing against, you don't really care about sending into the graveyard. You don't really care about sending your opponent's extra deck monsters to the graveyard. It only helps you.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it only opponent, or can you send your own cards?
No, it's only your opponent. You send cards you control.
You get your opponent's extra deck.
Yeah, to send. Look at your opponent, and also once again, you get to just straight up look at your opponent's extra deck. You get to look at their whole ass extra deck and send accordingly.
Yeah,
so obviously you play this.
You take a glance at that, and you'll be like, yeah, I'm done looking at all of this.
You play this in combination with Winter Cherries.
Okay. I guess I'll just show the full card of this. I wanted to bring up one of their spell cards because everybody brace yourself. So Dragunities went quiet after Hidden Arsenal 4 for a long time. And to be fair, they had a pretty complete package. They had 3 6s, a 7, and 8. They had a lot of main deck monsters, plenty of tuners, and they had Ravine. They were pretty good. So they went quiet for a little bit. Also, in the lore, they like I said, they showed up, they kicked all the Ice Barrier Dragon's ass and went home.
And they just vanished. They just vanished from the rest of the story.
They were just like, I have to go now. My Ravine needs me.
Need me.
Wait.
And then they were gone. So in 2015, I believe it was 15, in The Secrets of Eternity, we got this.
Oh, right, this card.
Of course it was Secrets of Eternity.
Let me actually double this up.
I mean, this card is actually decent, but the art in this is so odd.
Yeah, I couldn't find any full card art of this. It's very weird. It's this is Exa of the Necros finding the Dragunity spear. In like, I assume as like a quest reward or something, because all the Dragunity like spear arrows are pointing at it.
Guys, wait, stop, one. I just noticed a thing. It's all of the Dragunity dragon hats stacked on top of each other.
No, it is. It actually is, though.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
it's
it is.
Voltron.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because remember that their armors were their armors were their baby armors, so.
Right, because they all grew up. Yeah.
Can you just imagine if someone
and
took
it
this
looks
card art?
awful. Also,
changed the,
Martha just posted a full version of the art in
I found from Wikipedia.
Interesting. I didn't see this at all in the Google search. I guess Google just I don't know if the Wikipedia wiki just doesn't pay Google the money, but I literally could not find this when I searched Dragunity.
Apparently,
Divine Lance
the
card
artwork for Master Duel. Oh, so
so that must be it. They're fucking mining Master Duel assets. That's
I mean, that's nice because it's actually pretty high
Duel-
range.
So that would make
Duelist League
sense for
Evolution.
if
Yeah.
Master Duel.
So here's the actual card art. It's a freaky fish
Well, no,
guy, and
'cause
he
they-
found a
no.
spear.
Let's be honest. If Master
What's up,
Duel were
Loth?
to use Dragunity,
Loth is
for a
incapable
game-
of talking over people. He has to wait until David says whatever dumb thing he's gonna say.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's okay, I've got a dumb thing. No, you go, and I'll talk
I was
afterwards.
just gonna say, if Master Duel were to use a card art for the back of a Dragunity gate, it would probably be Dragon Ravine.
Looking at this, I can totally imagine someone just taking the weird ass Dragunity lances pointing inwards, paint that red, and just be like, "Here's a Yugi Tuber thumbnail."
No,
Also, I want to say, if somebody was way better at Photoshop than me, you could paint out this lance, and you have a meme template.
Well, the other thing is too. The other thing too is like this is definitely the British Pokemon gen fossil Pokemon where they just found all these bones, put them together, and said, "This is definitely what this actually was."
But unlike those Pokemon, this is probably not broken.
Yeah.
So, Dragunity Divine Lance. Equip only to a Dragunity monster. That's right, Exa. You can't even use this piece of shit you found. It gains attack equal to its level times 100. Also, it is unaffected by trap effects. During your main phase, you can equip one Dragon-type Dragunity monster tuner from your deck to the monster equipped with this card. You can only use this effective Divine Lance once per turn. So, yeah, this is a staple now.
Again, this sounds like Primus Pylon, where you want to find out, you want to break this. You read this card and read, I can break this.
This is way better than Pylus because this is a equip spell that has the archetype name in it. So there's a lot of ways you can find this fucking shit.
Yeah. This card is not I think it's a one of in most Dragunity decks, but I'm pretty sure it's in every modern Dragunity deck at one.
You play it because it's an instant failing / costs.
Yeah. And then also, if you can recycle
the
it,
other good one.
You can if you can recycle it and like actually put it on your boy, like that's You gain
Dragunities have-
times 100 attack equal to your level. Keeping in mind, remember, a lot of Dragunity synchros are actually tiny baby children because they usually have attack modulation. So this like beefs up their stats to a higher level, and they're unaffected by trap effects. I believe, by the way, this means that you can't skill drain them.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is, yes.
That's probably the best
in
part.
modern
being like,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
fuck
Trap
your
effect,
floodgates.
not a.
No, I mean, it doesn't work with most of the kinds of traps people play, but in the context of 2015.
Yeah, if we ever get to Yang Zing, we can talk more about this card's lore because it connects to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
No, it's dumb. Dude, Yangzing lore is the funniest shit.
We have a
I
long
can't
way
wait.
to go there. We have to
I cannot
explain
wait.
how Amelia and Avance have a
No.
dumb stupid child with stupid hair.
we've-
Sure it.
We've referenced
Yangzing-
Yangzing within Aturia because of how the Aturia links with Cleafort and Yangzing and Evil Swarm and the World Chalice and the World Legacy.
We still have to kill Steel Swarm.
From what I'm looking up, Yangzing are basically the callback episode of Dual Terminal Archetypes. It's like, remember this
Remember
archetype
when
from
this
50 years ago?
happened? Remember
Yeah,
when?
they're the member berries archetype.
Oh wait, are you sure? Are you sure they're not just the recap episode archetype?
They're
Awesome.
the 25th anniversary archetypes.
Well,
here.
yeah, no, because also the Yangzing are super important, so they're not a recap episode.
But let's move on to the next Dragunity
Yeah,
card.
so this is Kaus. He is the first one in a batch of Dragunity support that came out in Cybernetic Horizon in the year of our Lord and Savior
2018.
Ryza,
His sword has
2018.
His sword has an ornamental half moon on it. Why?
I want to bring
no.
up a point of like this reminds us. I can see this, but weirdly, if I image why I don't know why it feels like half Digimon, half like he needs to be holding a shield in one of his hands.
Well, okay, he is clearly not meant for this armor because he does not have balance. He is off balance, and he is worried about it.
He is trying to fly for the first time with this armor on.
He's, oh shit, this was a bad idea.
Oh god.
Oh god, I jumped off the ledge!
Wow. Okay. I will say I don't know why he has the half moon thing, but the other blade is correct. A Kaus is apparently just a like a chef's knife on a stick.
It's a glaive, isn't it?
So,
Yeah, it's a type of
what I'd
glaive.
imagine with this, like, you see
I
how
think
to the
actually-
left, like, behind his
No, he
head
is
with the
Kuze in
blade on his head, you've got, like, the weird, like, thing you could possibly grab. You just grab that, and you just got this guy swinging around with you.
In the LCG, the romanization of this card's name is U with the dots ZE.
This
the
reminds me of a really dumb thing I remember once. Get rotated.
Is
fucker.
the umlaut the two dots?
Get rotated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
umlaut.
Umlaut is the
Okay.
two dots.
I thought the umlaut was the line.
No.
I hate-
So this is a picture
Never
of a Kaus blade. It's like I said, it's just a chef knife on a stick.
Yeah, and like
Very-
I assume that the crescent moon is an adjacent reference to how some glaive blades usually have something on the back to balance it with the pole
Yeah.
arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
so like
it's
other
on a guy's
than
head,
like the
not a
extra
pole arm,
detail
so
that makes
Horribly
him
it's
look
horribly
unbalanced,
overbalanced.
I think he's pretty decent as far as these guys
Honestly,
go. Like you can tell this is 2018, right?
To me, this is the cutest one of them because he just looks like he is unbalanced and having
Yeah.
a struggling.
But
time.
also
we-
like
we
I
didn't
think
talk
his like
about it
hand and
yet.
feet proportion are not really weird. He actually has a nose.
Well, and the other thing too is that he has the Phalanx background, but more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, fun fact: this is the best tuner in all of Dragon. Well, second best tuner, but for different reasons. The
so-
best tuner you use is a tuner.
So Dragunity Kaus is a 2-star tuner, 1K attack, 200 defense, Dragon Wind, all that stuff. Cannot be used as synchro material except for the synchro summon of a Dragunity monster. That's their first time to get this restriction, by the way. This card on the field
yes.
can be treated as a level 4 monster when used for synchro summon. If this card is currently equipped to a monster, you can special summon this card. So this guy has the Phalanx effect, and he has a level modulation effect, so you can actually make Barcha with your normal combo lines.
Well, he can also just make he can now make two different types of synchro monsters.
Yes.
Which is invaluable as a tuner monster.
Well, you have to remember, he can only be used to synchro Dragunities.
Well, even
But
then
yes,
though,
like, it means that
even
he
as
now
older
for the
Dragunity,
we talked about this, right? With
That's
synchros.
still an Ascalon with one of your sync sixes.
True. But like also again, we talked about this. The thing about synchro that makes them the skill level, right, is you have to think about your lines. This guy's two different lines. He is math with 2s and math with 4s. So this gives you a big, wide open number of synchros you can make.
But also, fortunately and unfortunately, in some ways, he has made Vajrana irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen builds, like, I have a fairly modern Dragunity build with the shit out of dragons from the past that Hardleg did for What a Deck that still uses, like, one Vajrana for that line. But, yes,
Well, and-
you do not need it as much.
Well, the other thing is though, you could still play Vajrana for this, for an Ascalon or Erebor. We haven't discussed them yet. They're the other two. Well, we've referenced them. They are our two level 10 synchro Dragunity Knights. So you can still play Vajrana if you want to have a way to turbo out level 10.
I think Vajrana's, like, just equip recycle effect on Kaus and Phalanx is just so good.
Like he definitely makes Vajrana redundant, but you still play it for the climbing option.
And also the thing that is important about, like, again, why you don't, like, run no Phalanx is because Kaus is archetype locked, and while Dragunities are very good, there's a lot of really good sync.
No,
like
that's why generally the tuner lineup is 3 Kaus, 1 Phalanx, and 3 of a mystery boy who we have not talked about yet.
I'm surprised, so that'll help us later.
Yeah, so let's also talk about how the winged beasts have improved. This is Dragunity Senatus, so senator.
He's just a bird man.
Yeah.
No, actually, no, he's not. He's a person. Oh my god, I thought
No,
he was.
he's got a face under there. He's wearing the hat.
Okay.
I think
That
this
color-
looks like Tribus, but he got promoted.
Yeah.
Basically.
I like the color scheme. That pink goes very nice with
Yeah,
white
like
and the gold.
you wouldn't think it, but like the pink actually meshes well with this design.
And then whatever that darker violet color is.
It's
Yeah.
basically
I do
Tribus
want to
10
say
years
something
later.
about this guy's outfit. Tribus only had one of those black purple feathers, dark purple feathers. This guy has a mane.
Yeah.
No, this
Like I
guy
said, this is clearly
beautiful.
Tribus got his ass promoted.
He became I think the
Tribus
Satan of the
became
clan or
Julius
something.
Caesar.
He still has the one of those feathers to show you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, remember me? Remember this?
And
But now he has a big stick.
Senatus
the feather
is
is definitely
is
there
Sen-
for
yes.
you to realize. Oh, this is Tribus.
Yeah, remember how Tribus was fucking useless? What if we made him the best
The Sen-
Dragunity winged beast?
Well,
becomes a
I'd argue
senator.
on that, but he's definitely the second best.
I mean, he's one of the. When this guy came out, I think he was one of the really good ones. Like,
Well,
Dix
yes, no,
obviously
the-
does the
well,
loop
well,
pretty
that's
easily,
what-
but
Spoiler, the one I consider better is from Ghosts in the Past.
yeah, no. This guy basically, before we read his effect, what you guys need to know about Senatus is that Konami looked at all of Dragunity's failed main deck monsters, their winged beast, and was like, how can we make this good? So,
Dukes
Dragunity
again, but
Senatus, a level 4 winged beast with 1800 attack, 1600 defense. So he's got the full stat spread you expect out of a level 4 effect monster. You can discard one Dragunity card. Equip one Dragon Dragunity Tumor from your deck to this card. You cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck this turn except for dragon monsters. You can only use this effect of Dragunity Senatus once per turn. If a Dragunity card you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy one Dragunity card equipped to this card instead. So if your opponent tries to disrupt your plays, you can give protection, but also this guy is just peeless but good.
Oh no,
Every
you're dragon
type
locked
with
in the
Dragunity
extra.
tumors.
In a Dragon
You-
Link deck?
You're dragon locked in an extra deck. That's such
In a
few
synchro deck,
options.
by the way.
Which is
Yeah.
Or
like,
no,
it's
or
already half
links.
dragons anyway. Or
Well,
It's
or
like
links.
being-
Yeah, this was in the Link era, and they did get their Link, but like
Yeah.
you were already a synchro deck, so it's like it's not a restriction. So
it's like being
yeah,
locked
Senatus
to
is fucking
Cyburst
cracked.
in a Cyburst deck.
it's
Or
just to
being locked
prevent
to
you from.
Spellcaster.
It's just to prevent you from
Spellcaster
like.
Warrior.
It's legit just
Or-
designed that way so you can't splash it outside of Dragon Link.
Or like wind and synchro, or speed road. I mean,
Where like I mean, eventually you have enough.
There-
It's just the
there,
beginning.
there,
you don't.
there are a lot of like restrictions that are hyper redundant in a lot of
Eventually.
decks because you just play
Yeah.
dragons anyway.
Or DDD in a DDD deck.
Yeah.
Or like you're already cutting
Where
down.
you're already
DVDs.
fighting extra deck space.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I think we're done with some of this. What's next?
Yeah. Okay. So next in my list is it's our next two Dragunity Knights. The bigger boys, bigger boys. So let me make sure I'm getting a couple redundant tabs here. So yeah, this is the one. I'm pretty sure we can find this guy's card art pretty easily because he's pretty cool. Wow, interesting. Okay. Yeah, it looks like a no. Okay, gonna have to go digging, I think.
Wikipedia, I guess.
I'll see if it works. This is Dragunity Knight Ascalon, by the way, we're looking up.
Oh, Askbo.
You are a dragon.
Thou art a dragon.
I mean, Ascalon is big.
So for the one person who doesn't know what Ascalon is in the chat, Ascalon is the sword wielded by Saint George to slay a dragon. I don't actually know if the dragon has a name.
It's wielded by a lot of people.
Huh?
Ascalon got around.
But it's because Saint George is a really fucking famous saint, so everybody wants in on that action.
Yeah, and in FGO, Ascalon is used by a Saint George or Georgeois, depending on because that's what he's called in the game. He uses that to bonk a unit and say you're now a dragon type unit.
Which is interesting for like very early game units that had very.
It's interesting for very weird synergy because there are some characters who have anti-dragon effects, but now we're talking about FGO, not Yu-Gi-Oh. What does this guy do? What do you want to talk about with that?
We need his card art first, which I'm struggling with.
I assume you have the card art pulled up.
No,
now.
I did not. I told you I couldn't find it right away.
Dragunity Ascalon is how do I put this? It's a very modern Konami dragon.
And this is still pretty small. This is it's way too. That's not gonna work.
Are you checking? Let's check Wikipedia.
No, the Wikipedia doesn't have it. It has the Duel Links, which is what I just pulled up, which is transparent
I have a really
and small.
derpy one. I have a really bad one.
Yeah, no, I know. I saw
I
it.
have to paste this.
Is it available in Master Duel?
I have to paste
I mean, it
this.
is, but nobody seems to have bothered to data mine it. Yeah, I know. Somebody like stretched him out for some reason.
Cool. Master Duel card artwork.
Oh, well, you're gonna have to tell me how you found that because it's not like in the list of Ascalon.
It was. Let me just.
Yeah, show me the actual website link that has this because, like I said, I could not find that listed on Wikipedia very easily.
I'll post the picture and also the link.
Okay, so I now have it pulled up on screen.
You know where to look.
Oh no! Oh, something I realized that card is not as stretched out as I thought it was.
No, he's not as big as you think he is. It's because he's flying out of the sun in.
He's also the. Oh, okay. That's different. Actually,
okay, so it's in the card
very
gallery.
modern Konami.
I don't see legs, which is good.
You need to like.
Yeah, he just has a billion wings instead of
I need
legs.
to
he doesn't
enlarge
have
the
any
image a
arms.
bit because I can't make out details yet.
Wait,
What
hold
do
on,
you
is
mean?
it-
It's
is
as
this-
big as the normal one is, X. I'll
is
zoom
this
in, I
our
guess.
boy Phalanx? Because there's two shields at his wings.
I mean, I think it might be. It does look like the handlebars there.
I think it's supposed to be all of them.
Well, it's true. There is
Actually, yeah, I can see
It's like a bit of
there's
partisan.
Darkspear's head on his back.
There
Yeah,
is.
there's just a bunch of shit everywhere.
We can
So
scratch
what's
off.
happening
I wasn't
here,
originally going to do this one,
what the
but
trivia says. This is the embodiment of Dragunity Divine Lance. It is all of the armors put together.
Yeah. Okay.
So I will
Yeah,
put.
it's all the big ones.
This is from another card I wasn't originally going to bring up, but I feel the need to. This
Dragunity
is
Whirlwind.
Dragunity Whirlwind.
Why is Mistletoe just cheering in the background?
No, he's forming the ritual to
Or
summon.
no, that's Duke's.
Yeah,
actually.
Dukes is like,
Chicken
form Ascalon.
A rice, chicken, a rice.
I think Ascalon's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like the
is that
dynamic
the-
shot. I like the sunbeam.
Is that the Divine Lance down there, and like the big green pot that's glowing?
Yeah, I think it could be.
I mean, I have a little bit of problems with it, but it's the same problems I have with modern Konami Dragons, where it's like it's too busy. There's too much.
It's
a little overdesigned.
I don't think so. I love dragons with multiple wings. He's great.
No, I just mean the bits of like stuff on him and his head. Mostly his head is my problem. He has like 8 different horns.
No, there's 5. There's
That's
the
still too
triangle
many
point from Partisan, and then there's the double points from Phalanx, which are like handlebars that Dukes is riding, like a motorcycle.
Ascalon is a huge boy.
Yes, Ascalon is fucking enormous.
Yeah, no.
In more ways than one, y'all. So Dragunity Knight Ascalon, this is our first level 10, 3,300 attack, 3,200 defense, and his requirements are just one Dragunity tuner and one or more non-tuner monsters. We've finally gotten over it, guys. We don't need winged beasts. My God, you can synchro climb.
But yeah, so you can banish your Dragunity monster in your graveyard. Target a monster your opponent controls. Banish it.
So it is targeting, but it does not destroy.
It is once per turn. It's listed, it has more problems having. It has more modern card decks where it just says at the end of the card you can use it once per turn.
Yes. If this synchro summon card is no, it's not.
No, that's the other effect. So you can do that. You can do that multiple times a turn. Holy shit!
Yeah,
no,
you can just keep
banishing
banishing
you
and
can
just
do
banish
multiple
boys.
turns.
Like I said, I have played. It was hard legs build, but I have played a modern Dragunity build with like Ascalon and stuff. No, modern Dragunity is a fucker. Like if you get to the big boys, it's a very hard deck to deal with.
Yeah. This card also. If this synchro summon card in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card, so in any way it's destroyed, bring out anything but Ascalon and Arid Bar.
Yeah,
from
summon
your deck.
one Dragunity synchro monster with 3k or less attack from your extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon.
So you can recycle that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now that's the
They
effect you can
realize-
only use hard once per turn, but still, like he floats.
Yeah, 'cause
Like
there's-
he has a fucking dad level banish effect. He's huge and he floats.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I
and
remember-
that's an effect that they start giving to boss monsters.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, also, I
If
mean,
they don't-
even
if they
though
don't
it's
give
a
it
hard once
protection.
per turn, if you summon 2 Ascalon, you've probably won the game already.
Well, it's true. It's 300.
When we used to
Axiom
play
seems
like Modern Yu-Gi-Oh for dumb bits, I remember playing Thunder Dragons against Ascalon, just being completely bodied by Ascalon.
yeah, Ascalon's the fucker. Like he's the one you make if you went second. Where basically like, your opponent has a board. Well, I'm gonna make Ascalon. I'm gonna banish your fucking guys, and then I'm gonna punch your teeth in. So let's see if we can. Okay, I see gallery.
Get Erditor Burger.
No, that's the OCG art. Okay,
Get
that's very
Erditor
tiny.
Burger.
Also, I'm gonna head off at this point. Have fun with the rest of the boys, guys.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
I think there's only like 5
So
more
long,
left.
Vesper.
Yeah, but
no.
I have plans with a friend, so I'm heading
Oh,
out.
that's
Have
cool.
fun.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
But also,
Yeah.
there's more than that. There's like 7, I think, left. Plus, we want to talk about a couple of spells. Okay, here we go. Master Duel card artwork. So, scrape Ascalon. It's time for the other big boy, who is clearly Chaos plus Sonatas.
Oh wait, no, that's not a big boy. These guys are rank 6.
Oh, is Lewin small?
Yeah,
Right.
Loon's just a rank 6.
Okay, well, it's still, and that makes my sense. It's Sonatas plus Chaos.
rank 6 or level 6?
Level 6. Dallas doesn't know how to say
Level
things.
6.
So this is Dragunity Knight Lewin. I mean, I don't think there's a lot to say here. He's Chaos plus Sonatas. I don't like that his chin or lower jaw area is a little too detailed in there. A little too many greebles. But he doesn't have Dallas. Look at his shoulders; they're smooth. He doesn't have nearly as much
No,
muscle
he-
definition as normal.
Yeah, no, best Dragunity Knight other than Ascalon.
Yeah.
But does anybody have any strong feelings?
Not really. No, I don't have strong feelings either way. It's big Chaos.
Yeah.
It's just a big Chaos.
It is just big Chaos.
Yeah.
Not the most inspired, but I think they realized that like getting too weird with it made them weird. So now this is a really good 6 because this also has the modern Dragunity requirements: 1 Dragunity tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. So you can actually do different plays with this. It is a synchro tuner that is level 6. It is 1200 attack, 1900 defense. So this does mean that he is a target for your buddy Hulk. If this card is special summoned, you can target 1 Dragunity monster in your graveyard, equip it to this card. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Dragunity monster you control, equip this card to that target. It gains 1000 attack and defense. You can only use each effective Lewin once per turn. So yeah, Lewin lets you actually like fetch guys back from the graveyard for further plays, but as a synchro tuner, you don't actually like use him that way usually. And by the way, the name is after the spear Lewin, which was it's Celtic. I'm not gonna try and say the guy who owned its name because it's a Celtic name. But yeah, so it's this is their first synchro tuner. It is Hulk compatible, which is funny. And this was the era for that. This is Cybernetic Horizon mid 2018. I think it's got a good blend of the two effects because it if it does equip, when it's sent to the graveyard for any reason, it can equip to a Dragunity monster to give them 1k. So like you have a couple different moves here, And if you're still playing Militum, you can do that float and you can actually like Militum it back and then sink it at 10. It gives you some different options.
I'm pretty sure he's an include in most Dragunity builds, or at least.
Yeah.
Ochar, Mac, Uksachar. I think I said that. Okay, whatever.
Okay, and so we're gonna hunt down the card art on our next one, which is our third and so far final Arma monster, Dragunity Arma Gram. So,
No, the on fire one.
Ah, yes, Graham.
If you don't know what this sword is, I'm sorry.
Gram.
Play
Fire.
more FGO.
Actually, not bad looking.
Professor Lava Hot.
I was gonna say read a book.
Ah,
I will-
fire
I will-
indeed hot.
Yes.
I will say that the fire effects actually look pretty good.
Well, yeah, they have
Yeah.
modern like software to make this work. I think it's a little much because like it's also coming like his codpiece belt buckle is also shooting flames, which
Okay,
The
it's
problem
coming
I have-
from me is a bit much, but I think
It's
the fire
coming out of his
themselves is
back
fine.
knee.
The problem I
the
have
side
with
of his
it
legs.
is the wing codpiece. Like,
No, what?
no,
what
no,
he's
those
talking
are
about
his
is
wings
he's
are
got-
folded up around his hips.
It like with his wings folded around his hips, it's like he's got his hand on his hips.
I
Yeah,
like
no,
his
that-
sword design. I like the fire effect. There's a few too many of them. The crotch flames and the tail flame, like a Charizard, is a little much.
The armor's a bit much.
I mean, I like the armor. The armor's perfect. This is
I more
just
meant
like
in like
more
how
dragons.
I guess puts it intention to its crotch.
That's not doesn't have anything to do with armor. That's
oh my god, this is a rip-off art.
What's up?
Uh-oh.
Oh my god, hold on, I need to Google this.
You're gonna look
It
up
reminds
a
me of
lava
Bakugan,
wolf.
but-
No, this is a rip-off art from an anime.
Uh-oh.
Has anyone ever seen High School DxD?
Yes, but I think
No.
it-
This is just Drag. This is
Oh,
just
fucking
Drag.
Drag. Okay.
Or I'm not calling it D-Drag. It's just pronounced Drag. But yeah, no, it's the dragon there,
It does have the colors, yeah.
and the green gem crotch, which is why I remembered it, and it's on fire.
But
And the-
Dallas,
and the sword
does it have
sometimes.
green gems in its dragon wings?
Drag? I don't remember. There's a lot of really dumb art.
There's a
in
lot
High
of
School
there's a
DxD.
lot of gems in this guy.
Yeah.
I
What
like
was-
Graham.
What was this guy?
I like Graham. Yeah.
This was
He's
all
alright.
actually no, this was from this is restarting the Ghost from the Past batch.
I
So
mean,
this is the 2021 batch. These guys were technically
I
in
mean,
the
Loth,
in the
have you
OCG.
seen?
These
you
guys
seen
were
some
in
of the art I had to deal with
Structure Deck
today?
Dragunity R or Structure Deck R Dragunity
I'm
Drive.
putting this guy in top 5 for the Dragunity list, and that is more of a condemnation of the Dragunity monsters. Than
So this is a level 10 Wind Dragon, 2900, 2200. You can banish 2 dragon and or winged beast monsters from your graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. You can target one face-up monster. Its effects are negated, and also it loses 1000 attack for each equip card you control. When your opponent's monster is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can equip it to this card. You can only use each effective Armagram once per turn. So yeah, Armagram is once again, hey, what if you had a main deck boss monster? You can banish 2 dragons or winged beasts to summon it from your hand or graveyard, Dragon Ruler style. You can
Chaos Dragon Ruler.
you can negate a guy once per turn, and it also loses 1k attack for each equip card you control. And if any opponent's monster is destroyed by battle for any reason, you get to equip it to this guy to let it do that thing. So yeah, and also that means that it doesn't go to the graveyard where it can probably float or do stuff. Well, actually, I think it might go to the graveyard first, but it depends. There's some timing stuff there, but yeah, no, Armagram, good. You probably still only run 1 because he's a brick at a level 10. But at a late game as an option, he is a big strong boy who can support your big synchro boys.
Yeah.
Sorry, had to loop my audio again.
I have no big complaints with Graham.
Yeah.
As much as people make fun of modern Konami art, for some archetypes, the modern art style was a boon rather than a bane.
Yeah. So we
More of the esoteric weird archetypes.
And then let's go to gallery for this guy. Y'all remember Legionnaire? What if you saw a Legionnaire from the other side? It's Dragunity Legatus.
He looks a bit better.
Yeah.
I think the art's a little
mean-
cleaner, and the angle of his helmet means that it does look like he's just showing you one eye, as opposed to he's got a weird eye patch on.
I will say, I kind of think it's weird how a lot of this art just implies like the Dragonites didn't actually die; they just kind of stayed around in the ravine the whole time.
I mean, yeah,
I think
I'm pretty sure this guy is just because
makes
he's
the-
Legatus
I'll say
over
this,
Legionnaire. He
uh,
got promoted.
That makes the Dragunities super assholes.
I mean,
they
Dallas.
also-
Dallas, if you had to punch Trishula and then people keep coming back and telling you, "Oh no, the Fabled! Oh no, the Steel Swarm! Oh no, the evil Swarm and the Shadal! Oh no, the
Oh,
Cleese!"
no.
Would you not want to just be
Oh,
like,
the-
"Get the fuck off my lawn, guys"?
Oh no, the goddess.
I mean, they're all trying to destroy the world, so yes, I would do something.
We
Uh,
are
We're
a
still
military
part of
Hey,
force
I
that
mean,
will
we don't
not
know
be
they
a
didn't
military
do something.
force.
The Lance came back.
That's because some random Necros guy was like, "Ooh, shiny thing."
Da 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 da. Yeah,
He
I'm
found a
glad they
Zelda
gave it to
quest.
him. It was
So
like, just like, here,
Legatus is just Legionnaire, but bigus. I
all
can
the
tell he's more
gold.
blinged out.
Like-
I like the gold and green. It's a good color scheme.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, guess what? He's a good card. This is a
I like
Yeah,
the,
he's
I
the-
like the ribbons.
Okay.
He's got like a
ribbons?
different gem, and he's got like ribbon to like the front of his like belt, which actually
Well,
looks
that's
nice.
that's where his belt's tied.
It looks like he has a skin condition, but
His skin is a little purpley almost.
it's like, is he Thanos now?
I think.
Like,
I mean, maybe just I don't know.
I
that
think,
is a
I
weird
think he's
shade for
tanned
skin.
but weirdly backlit, right?
yeah, it's like, it feels like they
still.
were going for tan and mist.
Alternatively, once again, it could be a color correction thing. This guy has only been printed as a foil, as an ultra rare, so
True.
at least in English, and I think he's a super rare in Japanese, so it's like that probably means that this color is not 100% accurate in this. Actually, no, this is the Master Duel, so this is digital, so maybe they just didn't correct it right when they digitized him. Anyway, this is a level 4 winged beast, 1800 attack, 1200 defense. If you control a Dragon Ravine or a Dragunity monster, you can special summon this card from your hand.
I love that it references Dragon Ravine.
Yeah, so if you've got your field spell out or a Dragunity monster, special summon a 4. If a Dragunity monster card in your spell and trap zone is in your spell and trap zone, you can target one spell trap in the field, destroy it. You can only use each effect once per turn. Hard once per turn on that, but so he has Legionnaire's destruction effect, but better, because it has to be present, and then he has an inherent special. So if you control Ravine or
Yeah.
that,
he
so
is
this is
very
just
good.
this is another good one. I see what you mean about this guy being better than Sonatas, right?
Yes.
I haven't played a
I
lot
would
with
consider
Legatus
him the
because
best,
he came out early last year, and
Yeah.
as I said at the bitched about at the beginning of this stream, 2.25 hours ago, or 2 3/4 hours ago, I should say.
Yeah.
Ghost from the Past was a really fuckled move by Konami. I hope that the new Ghost from the Past 2 is not.
Well, I can't
Playability.
really blame you because I believe Dragunity is the archetypes that have gotten the second most retrains, or at least it's up there in contention.
Yeah, they've done a
I
lot.
know what number 1 is because I play it.
Oh,
Spoiler, it's
DDD
DDD.
actively do like really power up
DDD
versions of
has
each
so
other.
many retrains.
I mean, it's
technically,
less retrains and more like they just do powered up versions of each other. Like
I mean,
Super-
so
Super
no, we'll do it
Saiyans.
in the night. I'm following the rule that knights come after main decks. So this is gonna be a little weird because we're gonna do Romulus later, even though he came out first. But he is technically a Dragunity knight, so I'm going to pull up Remus.
Wow, people are really dumb in Yu-Gi-Oh, and they keep ashing my danger effects.
Yes, people don't
Which
understand
is
how to
not a
ash.
once per turn, so I'm just like, okay, I do it again.
I think
Another
people
one.
I think people don't realize the way Ash works, that she just negates and she doesn't destroy.
Or they're botting.
You take this to the worst cynical level. I don't assume
they're
people
not
are
bad.
botting.
They're not. I don't assume people are botting in gold.
Mm.
Bronze and the event, maybe. But
Maybe.
gold,
But
no.
also, like,
Well,
I don't.
maybe not botting, but they're button turbo.
Well, yeah, that's what that is. They're button
Well,
turbo. And
yeah,
they don't know what to do.
I assume they're just dumb.
So,
I can activate
Look at-
effects
this
go.
looks like a Cybers.
I mean, he does definitely have that color scheme. He's still a wind though, a wind dragon. And basically, I'm pretty sure that they made him later, but Remus is supposed to become Dragunity Knight Romulus, or at least half of him. So here he is. This is Remus. He's I like his color scheme.
This card is dumb.
You mean his effect?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. This is a really good. This is a really good
I like
boy.
how blue it is because
Yeah,
it
blue-
matches off like the
go
silver.
ahead, X.
Yeah, I like his color
Yeah,
scheme.
so-
I think this is again the more modern art style's gotten a little more refined. They can actually like add
Yeah.
details without like making him super giga muscular. You know, it looks like I could put a skull in his hand and he could be like, "Alas, Porcinatus, I do him well."
Yeah.
But otherwise, still pretty good. So this
Yeah.
is our other new level 2 tuner boy, because we realized that 2 tuners is the magic number. Dragon Tuner effect 2, 800, 800. Cannot be used as synchro material except for the synchro summon of a Dragunity monster. You can discard this card, add 1 Dragon Ravine from your deck to your hand. Hey, y'all remember Cap and Gold and Harpy Queen and Gravekeeper's Commandant? Yeah. What if we did that for
And-
Dragon Ravine?
And that time that we could run 3 terraforming if we so chose.
Well, that's now in
Yeah.
our prog. I just don't actually.
Actually, looking at this guy and the pose they've given him, it looks like he could. It looks like he's a tiny baby version of like what was it, Shooting Stardust or one of those other Stardust version
I
monsters.
mean, he's not purple enough, I think, to be directly related to a Stardust. But yeah, the
Yeah,
silver
not
is an interesting
quite.
choice because it resembles a lot of other iconic Yu-Gi-Oh!
He
dragons.
makes me think of like a medieval version of like Firewall, for some
I
reason.
just got neighborhood for 1 month. Okay.
But anyway, so Remus is just 1. You can pitch him to just search Dragon Ravine, which is pretty cracked. 2, second effect. If you control a Dragunity monster, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. Also, you cannot summon from the extra deck except for dragons. You can only use each effect once per turn. So you get to pitch him to add Ravine, which lets you pitch or search more. Or actually, lets you pitch more and then either search or foolish. And then you can special him to start your sync combo. So yeah, once again, as you can see, they had to try really hard to replace Phalanx of just how good Phalanx was.
Or you use him to synchro, and then you immediately bring him back to synchro climb
Yes,
again.
he also, the first time you do that, yeah, you can synchro. So, like, yeah.
He's very good.
Yeah. Again, like I said, you can tell that Konami realized that Phalanx was the best tuner Dragunities had up to the point of, like, Kaus and Remus, and they had to think, how do we improve on that? What if we just made them better? So this guy doesn't unequip himself, but that doesn't matter because he specials himself out of the graveyard, which he puts himself in to search Dragon Ravine, which you want. You want Ravine. So, yeah, it's a whole thingus. He's a cool guy. So now we're getting into our final batch of Dragunity Knights so far. Possibly our final batch ever. I don't know if they're going to keep making these guys. And this is going to be an interesting one. I've never looked at this card art in full.
I mean, considering how like, I think this is basically like post-time skip Dragunity, so I don't know what they do beyond it unless like they somehow survived the recreation of the universe.
I mean, there's so many years, though, in between Dual Terminal. Plus, remember, they can backfill, right? So this is Aradbar.
They could make the adult version of Militum.
I mean,
Oh, Jesus.
Militum is already an adult, and she already is in a dragon.
Oh, okay.
That was Vajrana. You may have been in the shower when we did Vajrana.
No, I
technically
saw
came out before Militum.
Vajrana, but it's like I was just considering how like all the other ones got like promotions.
Meh.
But
Look
yeah,
at this
so this is
boy.
Aradbar. I think the angle's a little weird, but he is very clearly in the Ascalon vein. He has a shitload, and he's the other 10, so it makes sense. He has a shitload of wings and a long-ass body. This is probably
Is
the
that
one you're thinking
legs?
of, Dallas.
Is that Duke's
Yes,
like
Eric.
holding up his staff to the air as he's riding? Like, yeah.
I think it's supposed to be Legatus.
Erbiter is my personal favorite looking of the Dragunity Knights.
It's just a lot of scales covering a giant.
He's a
fucking
danger
circle.
noodle.
Long dragon. Yeah.
There's no
It's
weird
like-
muscles.
It's like Ascalon, but at a comprehensible angle.
Yeah.
This is what I'd like to say.
Yeah, I think
blue.
he came out a couple years later, so they framed him differently than Ascalon.
I will say for This is dumb of me, but it's like I'm not wondering if they actually have
Stop
a promoted
equivocating and
version
say stuff. There's more people who want to say things.
I wish there was a I guess a promoted version of Militant because
Okay, so that's not relevant to this current conversation. Marth, things
okay.
about this guy. You said you went like you were going to say something.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm trying to figure out why I'm having a problem with this card's color. Is somehow it's clashing in a way that I'm not sure.
I mean,
the
I don't think it
background?
clashes. I do think there's definitely some tinting.
There's
Like,
just-
I want to point out,
I mean, I
like,
like it more than Ascalon's.
this
I just don't like
this
gold.
like lighter
I mean,
blue,
hey,
like
it's
through
not
just
just
shadows
yellow.
or something, becomes darker down here, like becomes less sky
Yeah.
blue and more indigo, which is a little weird. I mean, I get why he would have dynamic shading because he's clearly in the light, but also why does he have dynamic shading?
Yeah,
Um,
and is the shading in the right area?
I don't think that like sky blue and navy blue and gold is necessarily bad, but they do have some, like I said, some interesting like shading interplay. He's even
Yeah,
got like some
yeah.
reddish back glow on like his tail way back there. Okay.
Yeah.
So effects of Aradbar. Another level 10, 33, same as Ascalon, 32. One Dragunity tuner, one or more non-tuner monsters. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, banish a Dragunity monster from your graveyard, negate, and if you do, banish that card. So just quick effect, unlimited Omni-Negate. This is the guy you make first, by the way. If you're going first in Modern Dragunity, you make
Yes.
this guy, and your opponent just cannot.
Yeah.
If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, after damage calculation, you can banish that monster. If the Synchro Summon card in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can destroy all spell traps they control. You can only use each effect of... Okay, so it is a once per turn negate, but still. It's at the end they say he's got to hopped on all that, but still. Once again, Aradbar is another great complement to Ascalon. You make Ascalon if you're going second when your opponent has monster set up. You make Aradbar if you're going first, so you can negate. And if he gets popped, your opponent's whole back row goes away.
Yeah.
And he also he has a strong banish effect to prevent.
I would say Ardbar is probably the second best Dragunity extra deck monster. I personally like him a little more than Ascalon.
Yeah. They both have their uses, right?
Yeah.
Like, you run both.
Oh yeah, easily.
So, next there is, we mentioned it before, but Dragunity were actually, I guess you would say lucky, though some people would say unlucky because of the way he works. But they were lucky enough to get an archetypal Link monster during the Link era.
Was this during the Master Rule Force portion of the
I
Link
do
era?
believe this would be. Romulus came
Okay.
out in Rising Rampage in 2019, yeah. MR5, as we called it, wasn't until 2020. Early 2020, but early. So, yes, this came out in Rising Rampage as an Ultra and was reprinted several times, including as a gold rare in Maximum, just gold text in Maximum Gold Eldorado. So, this card is only like 4 years old, 3 years old, and already has 3 reprints. You can tell he goo.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, he's not. We'll get into it.
Well, so he is a Link 2 that requires dragons or winged beasts. So it's not generic, but for purposes of Dragon Link, a deck built around making dragons who are also Links, it's but simple. Oops, I still have my pencil out. So this is Romulus. Like I said, you can tell that he is Big Boy Remus. Let me see if I can find out trivia-wise who's supposed to be his rider. While I do that, feel free to say anything you want about this artwork.
Judging by the spear, is it? Fuck. Who do we say it was? Not.
There's no notes in trivia, so I don't know. I don't think that wings pattern
I mean,
recognizes anybody.
I think the face of what's the tuner looks way worse in a bigger form.
Yeah.
It still reminds me of Firewall, but it also has like a sci-frame background.
It's definitely modern Konami Dragon.
Yes. He's got a lot of spikes on his back. That seems a little excessive.
I like the metal texture, at least. I like the texture of the metal.
Yeah. The reflections they did for the metal and like it looks like a polished steel or silver. That's cool. I'm judging by the pauldrons. That's probably a Legatus or Dukes or something. His legs are very far back. He's a very long boy. So I don't think he's the best. I don't think he's the worst, but he's not quite as cool as some of the very big boys. and not at least as simple as Lewin, who is just Kaus but big. Like, this is just Remus but big, but like that doesn't help, as Dallas said. And so you've probably seen this guy. This is a generic Link 2, or semi-generic Wind Dragon. Has bottom-facing arrows in the corner, 1200 attack. 2 dragon and or winged beast monsters, except tokens. This guy came in late enough in that surge to be token-proof. But hey, guess what? If this card is Link summoned, add 1 Dragunity Spell Trap or 1 Dragunity Ravine from your deck to your hand. By the way, this is why you run only 1 Divine Lance. This guy searches. If a dragon monster is special summoned from the extra deck to a zone this card points to, except during the damage step, you can special 1 dragon or winged beast monster from your hand for a defense position. But for the rest of this turn, its effects, if any, are negated, and it cannot be used as Link material. You can only use each effect of Romulus once per turn. So, yeah, like, obviously for
he is a Link
Dragunity,
meant to set up synchros.
Yes.
Yes.
For Dragunity, he helps you, he gets you, he's another Ravine Searcher, or your other spell traps.
Or set up other links.
Yeah. You can use him to Link Climb, but if you special also, or just any summoned, right? Yeah. Summon to the zones, he makes another match. So, like, he lets you turbo out your tuners and sync and your materials better. Yeah. He is a good boy, but he's dumberer when you start getting Dragon Link into the account, right?
Yeah.
Generally, he is a enabler for Borlode Savage Dragon. Generally, is the card that.
Yeah, that makes sense, because then you just, if you get this guy.
Yeah, I was about to say. Do they run him for the Savage Dragon then?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah, like Omega said, makes sense. You wanna have an asshole with a bunch of negates on the board. That's an asshole you can do that has a bunch of negates.
I mean,
Oh my god.
it might be partially a joke, but like, I mean, competitive Yu-Gi-Oh is negates turbo.
I mean, it depends on the deck.
Yeah.
How quickly can you tell your opponent to not play the game?
Okay,
Yes.
so.
How much solitaire can you play?
So, in Blazing Vortex,
Mhm.
in the year 2021, we got our second Sync 7. Now, this guy, is he in... He is in Master Duel. Okay, Blazing Vortex is just recent enough we can actually get out
I
this
believe
guy.
it is the set, like, there's one more set after Blazing Vortex, and then it's the cutoff.
Yes and no, because there's, I think, a couple there's like a small number of cards from Dawn of Majesty in there.
I don't know if they're in yet.
Well, because
If they are in, they
Dawn
probably weren't actually in Dawn of Majesty in the OCG. They were probably imports. Like,
yeah,
Diviner of the
that's
Heralds,
probably fair.
she was
They were
not
probably
in whatever
imports.
set she came out in the
Yeah,
US
because
OCG.
mostly
Well,
what
no.
I'm talking about is like there was a small amount of Gusto support in Dawn
Oh
of
yeah, that was
Majesty.
probably in some side set or something. I don't know if that was core.
So,
Anyway, this is Gormfabar. I will spell it in chat.
he's got a lot of spikes coming
because
off
it
his
reminds
head.
He's got like a Beck to Corbin head.
Also, what is that thing sticking up from his back that isn't his tail?
I think that's the saddle for his buddy there. So, we haven't actually seen the small boy form of this because the TCG are animals. This is probably the adult form of Dragunity Guisarm, who was released in Japan as a V-Jump promo in October of 2020. I believe it is coming out in the upcoming Hidden Arsenal Volume 1 set.
Can we grab the Art of Gisarm, like the weird jank one we have of it?
Oh, I mean, I can find a promo art. It'll probably have shit on it, but I can find an art of him, I'm sure. Because the OCG, like, posts shit on, like, Twitter. Yeah, I can actually... Somebody's actually... See, he's been out long enough. Somebody's actually, like, redrawn his art. We can... Ooh, that's big. I'll shrink him down.
Tiny.
Pretty big.
Yeah, that is good. It is only a big Gisarm.
I'll say
face.
that one looks pretty decent, and for being a Guisarm, that looks like a pretty hooked spike there.
It looks
That's
like Yeah,
he's got
I
the
think about
hooks.
as good.
Pretty much, yeah.
He's got a lot of extra spikes. I like how you can tell in Gormfabar his big mode, which, by the way, appears to be, like, mostly nonsense. There's a legend of a guy called, like, Gorm the Old, who had an axe. That's it. Like, somehow, I guess it's because they don't want to try to ground they did
It's
already.
also in Fire Emblem.
Okay. I'm gonna
Yeah,
assume.
as Garm.
what they're probably gonna do is they don't want to retread ground they already did with, say, heroic champions. So like they're not just gonna do Excalibur and Rungominiad.
Can you just imagine that? Just like, so where'd you get? So where's the source of what you guys think of the names for these things? It's just Fire Emblem.
I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, actually, no, it's not Fire Emblem. It's Castlevania.
Sorry,
Castlevania
yes.
also uses all those same old weapon
Castlevania.
names mostly.
IPs. Also, his Gusarm's there. Let's talk about that.
I mean,
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
another
Gusarm
thing,
is
yeah.
here. He's going for bar, but small.
I mean,
I
also,
meant
yes,
effect-wise, but-
Castlevania.
But we're not going to talk about that one before we talk about the other one. They were printed differently.
I just
I like
said,
how
let's
we
talk about the other one.
we didn't have to deal with this while you were in the shower. Nobody was rushing me about the stuff.
I literally, Omega, you didn't listen to me with your ears. But I said, let's do the other one after this.
Did he
You
actually say
worded
that?
it
I felt like he
badly.
said it. We're going to pull up the Art of Gusarm right away.
I wasn't listening to either of you.
That's fair, Dallas. I accept this.
I'm not gonna
I was finishing.
What
off
I
the
heard
last
from X
material.
was to go ahead and bring up Gusarm and then get him in there. But Axe is the only one who gives a shit about rushing into the effect text.
Yeah, no. Pull up
No,
the-
I mean,
I mean, this is
I
fun
was
for the
just
monsters.
trying to say that, like, let's talk about what we're talking about the design of the synchro.
So Gormfabar,
Glormfulblar?
Gormfalbar. It's another bar
Did you-
in there.
No, you
Right,
gotta
right, right.
pronounce it. Omega, you have to pronounce it in the native tongue. It's Glormfulblar. Yes.
I mean, I think it's Celtic, so no, actually.
Happily, folks.
Glormfulblar.
I mean, the Japanese Romanji is Gorumu Fabaru. So
I don't just
Gormfabar.
offend everyone. I don't give a shit.
He is our new 7. We actually have a second 7. Holy shit.
Yay.
2600 attack,
Hooray.
2300 defense, so he's got stats befitting that rank level. 1 Dragunity tuner and non-tuner monsters. When this card is synchro summoned, target 1 Dragunity tuner in your graveyard, equip it to this card. So he gets them out. If only you had an in-archetype 9. Maybe that'll be next.
But you could grab another 3. You could grab what you use for this.
But yeah, there's no 3s that unequip themselves. So you can send quick effect. You can send 1 equip card you control that is equipped to this card to the graveyard. Then target 2 cards in your opponent's graveyard. Banish them. You can only use each effect once per turn. So this is more of the kind of like tech use options, kind of similar to how Trident works, right? But for the graveyard. I mean, as like an in-archetype DD Crow, it's decent. You probably run 1, right? But I don't think you necessarily want to go ham with him. But as, like, a guy you can float into off Ascalon, if Ascalon gets popped, he's okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's decent.
And then Guisarm is a level 3 wind tuner dragon. 600 attack, 1600 defense. The Dragunities have discovered asses. When this card is normal summoned, you can target 1 level 4 or lower wind dragon or winged beast monster in your graveyard. Special summon it, but negate its effects.
Omega, of course they've discovered asses. They discovered them with Ascalon.
Actually, this is pretty funny. So I talked about how there wasn't a 3 that unequips itself. I didn't know there was because I've never played with Guisarm. That is actually Guisarm's effect.
Yes. So you use Gusarm to make this, and then use it again to get to a 10.
Yeah, so you can special summon it when it's normal summon, and then if it's equipped, which you can do with several other Dragunity Synchros, you can special summon this card. You can only use each effect once per turn. So you have to be careful how you do it because Gusarm does have a hopped, unlike Phalanx and some of those other guys. But yes, you could, for instance, make
For both of its effects?
Gormfabar and then bring him back. Yes, you can only use each effect of Dragunity Guisarm once per turn.
And you could just, I guess, summon it, grab the material, go into this, grab it again, unequip it, go again, go to 10.
If you have a 4 in your graveyard, which you probably do, you're playing Dragunity, you have a shitload of graveyard set up, you can use Guisarm as a noble, go into the other guy. That's another line to a 10. It's just to give some more
Honestly,
options.
You might not have a 4 in your graveyard just because a lot of the stuff you pitch to your graveyard is 2, but if it's not turn 1, you
Dallas,
might.
you
Yeah?
can remember Dragon Ravine. You discard a card. You can put a 4 in the graveyard.
Right. Never mind. I forgot.
Yeah,
And you have like 8 million ways to search Dragon
Dragunities
Ravine.
have graveyard set up for days.
Yeah.
So
I forgot.
yeah, this is the last of their monsters so far.
Hey, Protogor.
There are a couple of spell traps I wanted to pull up that might have some interesting lore implications. And are also
what
very
was that-
recent.
What was that one you pulled up that had lore implications of thighs?
So this is where we're gonna start. This is the funny one.
The synchro ejection.
No.
Oh.
That's because that's not a Dragunity spell trap. So, this is Dragunity Draft.
Oh, do they? Is it okay? So they recruit people by saying, "Can you pull like the spear out of can you pull the pole arm out of the fucking stone?"
Yeah. Or alternatively, these guys are just chilling. This is Dukes and Remus just chilling, and the wind's blowing because that ice barrier is melting. It's global warming, guys. It's climate change. Shit's getting fucked. And he's thinking to himself, maybe I should do something about this. That's why I wanted to bring up this card art, because it is kind of goofy, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little.
Like, Dukes is just like,
Is that the thing he pulls out when he goes into the synchro?
Yeah, I think he had that spear in some of his synchro forms, or synchro modes.
Is that what invokes the the growth or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Let
give it
me explain its effect, and maybe that will work on some stuff. So this is a continuous spell. When this card is activated, target one level 4 or lower Dragunity monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. If your Dragunity monster whose original level is 5 or higher attacks, it is unaffected by your own opponent's card effects until the end of the damage step. You can only activate one Dragunity draft per turn. So this gives your synchros a semi-Ancient Gear effect. Your opponent can still activate effects, but they are unaffected by them. So, yes, this is a very good card. And you can search it with Romulus, so...
So if someone wants to scrap iron you can just be like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
Scrapper is
like... It's very funny. Like, Mirror Force, for instance, if monsters are somehow unaffected by Mirror Force, it literally does nothing because it doesn't even negate the attack. The only way Mirror Force protects you is if it blows up the monster.
Yeah. I use scrap iron as a example. Like,
I know. I just think of way worse things that you'd actually want to avoid. But
like Mirror Force that Omega just gave. We gave 2 examples.
Quaking?
I was also
Blazing?
Yeah.
I mean, what
Honestly,
people
Quaking,
don't
yeah.
know? Yeah, people aren't playing Axe. This card came out in 2021. Nobody's playing any other battle traps.
No one's playing any battle traps, period.
no one's playing. traps at
No.
all,
I
which
mean,
is
there's some like appliancers.
Who plays appliances?
It just sounds like
Nice-
Axe.
nice-
It's just like,
nice
oh,
joke.
still about scrap iron.
Good, funny.
Oh yeah.
Y'all are
So this is
What's up,
another
Dallas?
card art I am pulling up.
nothing.
This looks much better outside of the foil. So, this is Dragunity Glow. And I brought this one up because this is an action shot. This is Armagram punching out Gungnir of the ice barrier.
That's what they were doing. Okay, they were killing Gungnir. Okay.
Yeah, no, he's like, I'ma fuck you up.
I think he's cutting Gungnir in half, probably.
He
Or
does have his sword in the other hand. He is going for the Voltron or just generic Super Sentai finisher slash. Yeah.
Get fucked.
What's that one that we were joking about from Z when Axe? The one who didn't have any frames.
Oh, I
God
can't remember-
Mars.
Yeah, the God Bars. That's the God Bars slash. But I mean, but no, this is just a still image. It's different. Because God Bars literally had no frames because that was actually the mid '70s.
Y'all are weebs.
No, we just play obscure tactical RPGs.
My statement stands.
Dallas,
Fine.
don't you not do this so you
Shut
can
up.
watch Kamen Rider?
Shut up.
Goku is technically just drama about people in armor.
But
I
it's
mean, that's
very
still weird, though.
Japanese,
It's
as evidenced by the
Japanese.
fact that I think anybody's attempted
Okay,
to do it in
as
the West
much
has
as people
sucked.
think, is what it means. Weeaboo, the term weeaboo has nothing to do with anime specifically.
No, it's just people that like Japanese
It's
culture.
Japan,
But into
Yeah.
weird.
which I don't, so I'm actually not a weeaboo.
Anyway,
just
I
like-
Dragunity
specifically
Glow.
don't like the culture.
What Dragunity Glow does is it's basically Arma support. Add one level 5 or higher Dragunity monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Target a monster card in your spell and trap zone equipped to a Dragunity monster. Special summon it in defense position. You can only use each effect of Dragunity Glow once per turn. So this lets you, again, this is just good support. This lets you actually search your your Armas, and remember, Ravine only is level 4 or lower, so they were not searchable before, really. I mean, you can pitch them to the graveyard and you can special summon them, but it lets you get some of their effects out. And when it's in the graveyard, the turn later, you can... actually, no, it's the same turn. It's once per turn. Not a different... You can banish it to special summon a guy. So it lets you actually, like, do some different funny combos with your Armas as well. Just trying to, like... Remember, we talked about this a lot, Vesper especially now that they're gone, you know, Rep and Ewell. There were 2 lines of Dragunity. Now there is 1 line, which is just, oops, all Dragunities.
Gungnir looks really derpy in this art.
Yeah, Gungnir, I don't think we realized when we talked about Ice Barriers how fucking fat Gungnir it was.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, when his head is straight on, it just looks so dumb. Like, it is definitely an angle issue, but it's just like, God. Because he has a long neck, and he looks like, I think Gungnir looked great normally. But it's just, this angle is the least flattering angle.
And then
also
this will be
Gungnir
our
is
last
about to get
one.
schwacked.
So this is the one I referenced before about, you know, the Dragunities have come to wreck your shit. Here is Dragunity Oubliette, which is a great word. This is
trying to make what's
Brianak
happening.
and Trishula getting shit on by Aradbar.
I'm trying to kind of make out what's happening. A lot's happening, and like the angle's weird.
It's not the most arrive with vengeance card art in Yu-Gi-Oh! I still think that goes to that one Mech Knight card.
Yeah.
Which one?
The one that is just all 5 of them in a beam, just looking at you, going, "Do something."
Yeah, but this is the and Prior is here, by the way. Prior of the Ice Bear. But this is basically, oh shit, Trish got out. I think Gungir's in the shot as well in the back. All the dragons got out. Fuck, what do we do? And then Aradbar is just like, I know what to do. Blah. And Trish is like, oh my god. Who the fuck turned up the thermometer?
Oh no, this is just they make the super mega Zord dragon.
Yeah. So, as befitting this card, this is your in-archetype Omni-Negate trap. Well, it's spell trap negate, but you know what I mean. It's your counter trap that negates a thing. Interestingly, this was called Dragunity Void in the OCG. They probably called it Oubliette because the Japanese language's relationship with the word void is weird.
Yup.
But yeah, Dragunity Oubliette. When your opponent activates a spell trap while you control a Dragunity Synchro monster, negate, and if you do, banish that. Then if you control a level 10 Dragunity monster, you can have 1 Dragunity monster you control gain 1 attack for each face-up card that is currently banished. You can only activate 1 Oubliette per turn. So basically, you make Aradbar, you have a negate anyway, your opponent thinks you're done, and then they try to Lightning Storm you or something, or some other effect, and you're like, no, actually, I have another negate, fuck you, and then Aradbar gets bigger.
Sadly, this is not played as much because it is missing the most important of the 3 negates.
Yes, it does not count as a monster negate, which is the...
Yeah, no
I think that is
monster
something
effect
that
negates.
Dragunities do not have easy access to, which is unfortunate.
No, that is possibly the reason they are still, like, almost rogue tiers, because,
yeah.
Unfortunately, the way Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, if you don't have monster negates, you're not doing...
Like, obviously, your guys can give you protection, but, like... Again,
and
there's
let's be honest, I think you've got the numbers that you could probably make Clearwing and Crystal.
Yeah, no,
Crystal
those guys
Wing.
are.
Oh, they definitely
dragons,
run
right?
Crystal Wing.
Yeah, you run the Synchro Dragon package.
I think you would probably run Savage just because.
I mean, you've got a link you can make, right? And you want to make Romulus because it lets you search these kinds of spell traps depending on what you need. So, like, yeah, modern Dragunity has some decent spice in it. And like we said, no, this is what the Dragunity does. They show up, they dunk on the Ice Barrier dragons, they go home, we never hear from them again.
So I have a... I'll think to think about what we're going to do next time, but...
So it should be... I mean, technically, there's a lot of them, but it's something in that second gen.
Some of them are boring.
Steel Swarm is probably a good one to do because they're the main antagonists.
I feel like
Vion as well. But... Yeah, Steel Swarm and Vion seem like the next one.
How long? Because I was curious.
Let's check how many Violons there are.
So you can borrow, how many Violons are there? Because I was thinking like...
There's a lot of Violon... Well, because Violon is one of the few we actually need to do the equip spells.
19.
Well, yeah, Violent are an equip card archetype, so you cannot explain them without explaining their equips, at least.
Yeah,
I
Those
also
groups
want to
are
bring up
important.
15 Steel Swarm monsters.
like 5
I will say that I have next Tuesday off.
17, 18, 19.
My vote is for
So
Vion
19
because
monsters
Steel
for
Storm is
Violon, and then a
stupid.
handful of equip spells.
I was really gonna ask if one was shorter enough, we could. How many Boral cards are there?
A lot.
We're
It's an
not doing
anime
Boral.
archetype.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That was the
Borals.
main rivals deck, I think. So
Okay.
that's your
Isn't-
Blue Eyes
I
equivalent.
thought that was Salamangrades.
No,
No.
Salamangrade is like the Joey, right? Like the supporting male.
Isn't Boral also
complicated.
rockets?
Yes. Also,
Yes.
Boral is their Link version. Rocket is their main deck. So you
The
again you cannot talk about
the
the two.
relationship of the characters in Vrains is very complicated.
Usually, because
Yeah,
it's not
there's
fleshed out
13
sometimes.
Borals.
Yeah, there's 13 Borals alone, and then also, like I said, you can't aesthetically you can't talk about them without also talking about Rocket. It doesn't work.
Yeah, rocket.
So that would be a big one. That would be a whole session. We could do that one sometime. I feel like
I think we still want
Vylon
to
especially
chip
would be
away-
a very interesting one because they have a very unique aesthetic.
And I also think they have some of the best card art in Yu-Gi-Oh! In my personal opinion.
Borals and Rockets.
No,
Vylons.
Oh, Vylons.
And specifically their Synchro Monsters, I think, have some of the best art in all of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, Vylons are very interesting. I know they're
But then
just
again,
like shapes, but like
I like non-Euclidean demon angel looking things.
but
I mean, hey.
many of those monsters are Euclidean, Dallas.
Or not non-Euclidean, but like
I know they're weird shaped.
non-traditional angels.
Yeah, they're very shaped.
Like they are the
Non-
Talmudic.
non-
And the,
non-
angel, and the,
agent- not-
the
not
angel
agent
thing
style.
works too because they even have fallen angels. They have bad Vylons.
Oh no, yeah, no. The Vylons are very much one of the very many. This archetype is the angels.
Yeah, and the violence just get corrupted because they were going too hard at things.
I mean, they're machines, so they're
But
very
okay,
machines, so-
that's all of our Dragon Unities, our Unity Legion. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Here, let me.
I think this is the worst art we've had in a while.
Yeah, no. It was an old ass dual terminal. You know, we went back to dual terminal, and I like that they had a theme, right? The way that theme worked for the Dragon tuners, oftentimes not good. It's
Didn't work.
very weird to take a baby dragon and bolt a spear on its face.
Yeah, it's just something about some of the like. I feel like the artist who did this is like the Japanese equivalent of Rob Liefeld, where it's just like they just don't understand the proportions.
Yeah,
Again,
and I
I
think
kinda
that was
wish
another
you
thing they
knew who the
wrestled
artists
with a
were.
lot. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I said that a lot.
Yes, you
early
said
on.
that a
You-
lot
you
early
did.
on.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it just got more and more true as we went on.
Is there a Vylon field spell I can pull up?
And I think you could very clearly tell the original artist who handled the first 3 waves had nothing to do with the second 2.
Wait, is there like a really short archetype we can do that's like 10? That's like 5 cards.
I mean, I don't
World
unless you're like
Jealous.
really jazzed up. We're over 3 hours. I mean, okay,
There's
call it for today.
no...
All right.
There's no violent field spell
Okay.
specifically.
No,
Is there a
it's just the equip
Vylon?
spells.
Is there a Vylon spell trap that embodies their aesthetics?
We could do dice.
Not
really.
really.
We could just do dice equipment, yeah.
What are you
Those
muttering,
DCs,
X?
but
I
We
mean,
could just do dice
No,
equipment, that's
element.
their end game, but
Element is important.
Well, I'm just like I want to let people know
Yeah.
what you got to look forward to.
No,
Element's also a good
Element
card
is
art,
a good
yeah.
one.
Okay.
Just this is the yeah. No, Vions are great.
So that sounds like unless
on.
we get a weird
You can pronounce it either way.
funny idea.
I was gonna say, if we do Vylon, that gives us an excuse to go into Gusto the week after.
We also have to talk about one of the Guardian cards because
Oh.
it's stupid.
Because one of
that's cool.
one
Yeah,
of the
that's fun to
Gusto
play.
synchros is a crossover with Vylon.
I mean, I put this in this huge list
No.
earlier, but I don't think you were back yet, David. But like that's all the second gen stuff. Like we
Yeah.
already did Gishki. That's Steel Swarm, Vylons, Gusto,
Yeah.
Laval and
Laval,
And that's
Gem
it.
Knights technically because they get started this early.
But Gem Knights,
We can save that one. That's going to be a long one because there's several. Once again, that's one of those, like Dragunity, Gem Knights is one of those things that stuck around, especially because, like a couple of other archetypes from the dual terminal era, they integrated that one into Arc 5. So there's some weird shit there. But this is Violent Element. This is what you got to look forward to next week, probably.
Yeah. No, Vions are great.
They're really fun.
I mean, I will tell you,
wish
Dallas,
was better.
there should be a consonant there.
I mean, you can pronounce it different ways.
No, you can't. It's the Japanese is clear. It's phonetic language, Dallas. It's Vajrana. So
So Viron.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you want to be a weeb, Dallas, you can say Vajrana.
No, I'll say Vylon.
But yes, there's a consonant there. It's
Mega,
not
thanks for
3
bullying it.
vowels in a row.
Thanks for bullying.
I would just keep. Nah, fuck it. I'm just gonna keep calling it Vylon. Fuck it.
He can't even stick to his threat. I think that means it's time for us to get out of here, guys.
Yeah.
Fuck all of you.
I
No,
don't.
thank you, Dallas.
Has there
Wait,
been? Let
where's
me check
Log?
Yu-Gi-Oh organization really
What?
quick. Is there any weird news?
I'm still here.
I need to talk to you.
No, it's just they've just been posting deck recipes for like the past 4 days. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not since the what was it? The weird Excel Synchro Dragon, whatever.
Yeah, they talked about the history pack,
Excel.
but we've already yelled about that so much. So
Master Duel is likely gonna have another event soon after the first one.
well, they're
what's
gonna
that?
do something. By the way, yes, even if you're not playing the Xyz Festival, if you haven't played Master Duel, please log in and answer the survey. It's probably very important. It has a question literally about loner decks. Make sure that you, along with everybody else you know,
Tells them
gives
that
them a
they should feel
1.
Bad for their
It's
loner
bad.
deck.
Yes, you did not enjoy playing with loner decks because they're bad and they should feel bad. But also they have questions
Yeah.
about balancing, and they have questions about future event types. Not only locking out the extra deck types or summoning methods, but also talking about other restrictions like rarity,
I mean,
certain archetypes.
No, they've already confirmed the rarity.
Rituals.
Well, they haven't confirmed rarity, but that is we have data mined that the rarity event is planned, which is what I would have said anyway.
I would
Honestly,
like,
I would really like
some like time, some like event period.
Head up.
Specific setups, and maybe some of the like some of the maybe like lore stuff like
I would have liked to request more deck slots.
I don't know what David just said. He said something that didn't mean anything. What I would like that I think is cool is they have one on there, which I think we should all vote for, which is if an event had turns with less time, activate chess clock mode.
No,
my
I need
joke-
those
Omega, I already used all the timer. No.
But Dallas, they can't. If you can play Drytron, but what if you only had 60 seconds? Can you do your full Drytron combo before you time the
I
fuck
mean,
out?
I
yes,
also
we-
can't put.
Wait, Omega, just so you know, when they're most of their combo is in the pause time, which is the annoying part, because I'm playing against
Omega,
Zoo players, it takes like 10 minutes, but they
the
only use
pro-
up 10 seconds.
The problem is,
I
Omega,
don't know about that.
that's just gonna be Eldritch.deck.
Well, you also do what they did for the Xyz Festival, and you keep Eldritch banned. They should honestly just ban Eldritch from Master Duel, period, because...
Could
They
they
really
ban?
should.
Could they?
No.
Could
No,
they
Omega,
banish the?
they
Could
really
they
sh-
banish
no.
Drytron if you do the
Just-
ritual one?
No, I'll tell you, they should just ban skill drain.
I mean,
That's the
they
card
should. I
ban.
don't know if they're gonna, because I believe it's
Is the
unlimited in the
OCG or
TCG
animals?
and OCG right now.
Yep. No, I agree.
I think it's a mistake because I've been dealing with that card like fuck.
Oh, yeah, no,
problem-
skill drain
yeah,
sucks.
No, the problem with Eldritch decks right now is literally IO skill drain. It is not Eldritch.
I mean, yeah,
Eldritch is not the problem.
Yeah, I guess it is the floodgates. That probably solves it better. But, I mean, there's a reason why in the Xyz Festival, like, everybody was like, oh, well, we're just going to play Eldritch. We don't need our extra deck. And Konami was like, cease.
So they went Drytron instead.
No,
No.
Loth,
No, they
you
went
didn't
zero.
even fight a Drytron deck. You fought a Megalith deck.
I thought
They-
fucking.
they went zoo.
I fought so much
No.
zoo. I hated it. It was annoying.
Omega, I have not posted when I fought Drytron decks.
Well, they're not regular Drytron decks. They're other combinations of your Drytron. Yes, they did not neuter the Drytron engine because they actually have an Xyz monster. But they did ban their big powerful boy and also banned Herald of Ultimateness, the other big boss.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna
like
say, if
they
if
killed
banned the
they killed
Heralds-
Drytron in the nature of the deck that people normally make. They did not end the Drytron engine. I kind of wish they had just made it so you can't play rituals in the Xyz format because those two decks don't cross over anyway. So it seems counterproductive, but I don't know.
They just no. I'll tell you what they need to put to 1 to fucking end Drytron. Just put Ben 10 to 1.
Well, yeah, they need to do that again.
Yeah, because they still run the Cyber Angels.
Yeah, well, that's
Well, no,
and that's
they
why Ben
just
10 is at
run
1.
They just run Ben 10 Natasha. Those are the only two they use. Or in some weird edge cases, E to 10. But, like, not...
I mean, you probably saw more weird edge cases during the Xyz event. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Mart's already left the
Yeah.
VC. We should get out of here. But, like I said, go check out that survey if you haven't been already. I admit I didn't participate much in the Xyz event because I looked at the ladder rewards, and I was like, oh, this sucks. I could spend my 4K gems and build an Xyz deck I don't have, but I could also just not spend my gems and be fine, and I'd have the same number of gems.
Well, Omega, I wish I had a YouTube channel that had any success, because I made a very winning Xyz Arrow deck for, like, 300 Common Dust, 300 Rare Dust.
What, Giant Ballpark?
Giant Ballpark Phantasm Spiral.
Oh, yeah, Phantasm Spiral, right. You also don't need an extra deck for that.
Yeah.
But all right.
I'm set for the rarity event.
Not quite Zed, but very similar. My main deck I've been playing to get into the higher goal is Adamancipator, which is, I mean, I play Gallant Granite, so I guess I could have played Block Dragon Turbo, but that's not really going to do the thing. My combos don't work that way.
See, Omega, I'm super fucked because my favorite deck is never going to be legal in an event.
I
It's
totally
not-
love
It's
Dealing with-
DDD.
Adamancipator no decks.
It's DDD. What extra deck type monsters you use? Yes.
Yes.
So you've actually been running into people playing Yeprock, Loth? I haven't. That's pretty interesting.
No, you
Yeah,
guys
bro.
have better luck when it comes to opponents than I keep fighting the fucking tryhards. It's
No,
awful.
Rob, Loth, when it comes to the non-event, I don't. I have worse luck than you.
Well,
There's
you also
not a
made it.
lot
To, you actually made it to Platinum once, Dallas.
Loth is in Platinum, too.
Actually, I've been demoted to Gold 1.
Well, I've never made it to Platinum, so I can't break through because I just have the worst goddamn luck in Master Duel. I never go in the turn order I want to go. But that's a me problem with Master Duel. It just gives me string luck all the time.
My problem isn't that I don't get the right turn order, is that every time I draw my hand, I draw for the wrong turn.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, that's
hold
my
on.
problem, Dallas.
So,
I never win a coin
Omega-
flip, and I always have the wrong hand.
Omega, the weird question I have for you, like, Adamancipator, right? Block Dragon is normal, right? What if they decided to just, what if an Adamancipator player ended with a fucking access code talker and like 3 to 5 link monsters in their graveyard? Does that seem like Adamancipator to you?
No, that's a weird, like, somebody realized that Adamancipators weren't banned and tried to make it, because I don't even think access code was out before Adamancipators got banned. Wasn't that the set after that list?
I think they came out in the same set.
Oh, boy,
Well, they
do I
didn't, because
love
access code was in a
Skystrikers.
core set, and Adamancipators was a deck build set.
Oh, then it was the one after that.
So, yeah, access code talker was Eternity code, which I think was, like, just before the ban list. Let me check.
No, Loth, you know what deck I love, and by love I mean fuck this? I've been running into Drytron and VW nonstop lately.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate Shen Shen. I hate that card. Fuck that card.
I've only run into one other Supreme King player, sadly.
Yeah, I haven't. You know what I haven't run into, and I'm happy about it. Fucking whatchamacallit, True Dracos, just not an issue for me.
Oh, really? I've come
Yeah.
across a few of those.
Okay, so
I'm
Eternity
running
code
into a
was
single one.
5, 20, and so the list was in 6/20, June
Like,
2020.
I haven't seen them since I left Plat, but yeah, they existed in there.
So, yeah, that would be... So there was one ban list right after Access, and then... So, yeah, there was literally 3 months where you could play Adamancipator with Access Code Talker.
Yeah.
What did they ban out of Adamancipator?
Block
Just-
Dragon.
Block
just
Dragon.
block-
That's the problem card.
Yeah, no. Like,
I
Animator's
see-
cool, but it's mostly
Well,
just.
it's come into a kind of renaissance lately. It's weird.
Well, I mean, I think if people are playing it in real life, they probably realize that like
Well-
the shell is still good.
Well, it was pre-Battle of Chaos. I haven't really seen much of it after that. Well, because they also realized you can stick half a Prank Kids engine in Adamantipator and make
Oh
it
yeah,
work.
there's that. Right, Roxy's. Yeah. Robin, you talked
Roxy's
to me.
and the two links.
Yeah.
I think it's like Doodle Doo and Meowmoo.
Yeah.
Or is it Bow Wow? It's Meowmoo or Bow Wow.
It's one
I
of
can't
them.
remember.
That might also be why that faded because there was, I think it was last ban list where they. No, it wasn't last ban list. It was the one before that where they limited some of the Prank Kids
No,
stuff.
they limited the one that isn't in Adamantipator.
Okay, that's good.
That's
Yeah,
the
I
thing.
know. Robin tried to. I haven't set it up yet, but Robin talked to me about the Prank Kids package in Adamantipator. I haven't really looked at the lines.
Prank Kids is a great deck that people should invest in because it's like literally one ultra rare in the entire deck.
I think I've got my ass handed to me by a few Prank Kids players.
Oh no,
They just
Prank's meta. Prank is a meta deck.
Prank is
want-
meta,
Oh, it's
yeah.
meta.
There's a reason why they have some limited cards in the TCG.
But it's fun meta. And
Oh,
by fun, I
and-
mean it just kills you and doesn't set up any.
This will be
negates.
for the stream audience, but as a fun, out of context thing, with no context. Dallas and I fought each other in Master Duel. I almost killed him with his baby.
Yes, you almost killed me with a baby.
I took his baby and almost killed him with it.
You did take my baby. You did steal my baby.
But did the dingo eat your baby? Stream's
No.
current bitrate is low.
I
don't know,
think
that's-
I ate my baby, if I remember correctly.
Anyway, YouTube is yelling at me. Zed is talking to himself in the chat. It's time to go home, everybody.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah,
3.5
no,
hours. We're gonna jump through this Vylon gate next time and see what's up. So we'll see you then.
The Mass
Goodbye,
Effect
everybody.
relay.
Bye.
Bye.
Adamantipator is tier 2 right now.